Welcome into a terrible football show. Episode, I think, 43. I think that's where we're at. Hopefully you're having a phenomenal day today. Whatever day you're watching live alongside of us and watching technical aspect, whatever, we appreciate the hell out of it. We got all the boys all on camera. This is quite the experience for us. Right? Boys, how we doing? How we feeling? Let's just go down the line. Jacob, we'll start with you. How you doing? How you feeling? Ricky, it'll be like March for us. Ricky, what about you? Finally here. Finally hit, which I'm okay with. I'm absolutely okay with it. Pepsi sucks, got the power in the chat. Pepsi does.
Read between the lines. Hey, y'all read between the lines. Y'all read my
The Pepsi company is okay because they produce my favorite food, but the Pepsi drink is really
No. So
Pepsi is sponsored.
That is a deal, sir. I will use my
I will go buy one
Listen, I'm on the stance with Jacob that all soda is terrible for you, because it is.
It really is.
There are some sodas that I enjoy, but my stance, I hate cola. Like, it doesn't matter if it's Pepsi, Coke, or God forbid RC. Cola itself is disgusting to me, but I will say the worst one to me is in fact Pepsi. I think Pepsi. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I'm sorry. But listen, I can drink any cola as long as it has like something else in it, like a cherry Pepsi or a mango Pepsi. Anything like that I can tolerate. But a regular cola, whether it be Coke or Pepsi, like I said, God forbid RC, whatever, are disgusting.
Time out. If Pepsi's the worst, how can you say God forbid RC Cola?
Because you work for Pepsi, that's one of the
I was gonna pick Hawaii to win.
Hey, you still can. There's plenty of time.
That's going to be an interesting game. Let's just put it that way. It's going to be an interesting game for this coming week.
Yeah. Also, for the live stream, we kind of have a rocky start here, and that's on me. I apologize. I didn't realize the intro music was still playing while we were going through everything. That's fine though. That's something that I can fix in the after. So the audio version will be perfectly fine. That's why we have this. That's why we have this beautiful device right here to do all the work for me. Well, something's in the way. Either way, all the work can be done thanks to the Rodecaster Pro 2. Yes, thank you for Tyler for pointing that out to me, because I did not notice that. That's on me. But no, we got a lot to dive into today, boys. I mean, we have a lot. It was an incredible weekend for football all around, you know, whether if it be college or pro. I feel like college had a very good weekend. A lot better than pro, at least in my opinion. A lot of good games out of the college scene this weekend, most notably Tennessee and Alabama. So excited to jump into that. So we're not too far away from our Agent Inc. store launching. I just paid for another invoice today to continue to work on everything that we have going on. So we're not that far away. I know I keep saying that, but I promise you we are not that far away. And I cannot wait to show everyone, the store. It's going to be legit. Anyway, go ahead and turn down the music. We can kind of start jumping into things, give some thoughts on stuff. Before we really do that, boys, anything you want to shout out before we really jump into stuff while I fix my camera here?
So did win a game.
Yeah.
Okay, dude.
Did win a game. Congratulations.
I mean, Hawaii did too. I mean, hey, Hawaii is now not the worst team in the FBS. Now it's Nevada. There's something positive for you, Alex. There's something positive for you.
Yeah, they took the crown from us when we beat them. So, and hey, Nevada also lost to Colorado State. So the Nevada's It's taking that crown as worst team in the FBS. So Hawaii's got something going for it right now. So that's a big plus. I can sleep a little bit better at night, just knowing that. But
The last check mark that Nevada needs is losing to UMass.
oh, I know. That'd be
That's
amazing.
gonna be. Oh gosh,
that would be
terrible.
amazing, bro. Jesus. All right, so top to bottom, I have now come to discover that I was clearly not organized for today's show because I just realized I never even posted a script. But that's fine. I got ESPN pulled up, and we'll go through down that way. As we were starting the show, I noticed that I'm looking at Discord. I'm like, ATFS 42. I was like, that's not right. I scroll out, I see Tennessee versus LSU. I'm like, that's not right. Oh, no, I didn't do it. I didn't post the script. It's all right. We know what happened. Let's go ahead and kick things off with that biggest game of the week. But man, that Alabama-Tennessee game, that was absolutely incredible. I got to watch that entire game. Even whenever Game Static started for that live show, I still had it pulled up on a monitor and muted and was still watching it throughout Game Static. And if you go back and watch that episode, it's funny because if you pay attention, you'll see times like me or Zach's talking. You'll see John on the other side of the room. He was watching the game up on the monitor as well. It was a phenomenal game, top to bottom. Shout out to Tennessee for getting that big dub. This is huge. This is huge because now it's going to be the big question: is Tennessee, a true championship contender? Because even after this happened, everyone is still throwing out there that Alabama's still going to win the SEC championship. Still possible. Don't get me wrong. And Tennessee's going to, Georgia will be the runner-up. Like, Tennessee's not even going to be the runner-up. I mean, how you guys feeling about that game? How you guys feeling about Tennessee as a team and, kind of where we're going right now?
Been high on Tennessee all year. I said at the beginning of the season, I personally believed that if Tennessee wasn't going to beat Alabama, they were going to dethrone Georgia and win the SEC East. Now, the way Georgia has been able to basically they've actually been able to reverse the course that they were actually on. We'll see when that happens here in a few weeks because they do have to go to Georgia, and that's going to be that's another tough environment that they're going to have to put up with. But me and Brad recorded last night, and he said something very, very interesting because what they literally did now, anything can happen now when it comes to the college football playoff. We're not going to have, the only undefeated team that we're probably going to have when it's all said and done is going to be Ohio State. So let's just mark that out of the way right now.
True.
But imagine a scenario.
Oh.
Imagine a scenario where we've seen 2 SEC teams in. What if we had 3? Think about it. I know it's a
wild
long
to think
shot.
about, but
it's a long shot. But think about it. So Tennessee loses to Georgia, and then Bama barely gets by Georgia in the SEC championship game. You have 3 legitimate teams who have 3 legitimate arguments to be in the college football playoff. The Big 12 is down. They've been down for years. The Pac-12 sucks, just like we always do. They sucked. The ACC, if Clemson stays undefeated, you can forget about it. That scenario's over. But if Clemson ends up getting a loss in the ACC, who else are you going to put in there?
Especially a bad loss. Like, imagine if they lose to a team that they weren't supposed to. You very well could see Ohio State being that number 1 seed, and then boom, 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 Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia.
You guys are missing TCU and UCLA, though. They're both undefeated still.
Correct.
TCU and UCLA are not even close to the level of Ohio State and the SEC, and you damn well know it. It's not even close.
I think the world would probably go into a chaos, or at least the college football world, because at that point, like, just if UCLA, which I don't think they're going to end up being undefeated anyways, because they still got to go against a USC team that I think personally is still better than them, who lost this past weekend. And then TCU, they just got past Oklahoma State, but I still think they got to get past a couple other, like, at least 2 teams that I think could compete with them. But just say UCLA and TCU both end up undefeated, then it comes down to strength of schedule, who have you beaten, like, things like that. And I think at the end of the day, I think a 1-loss Tennessee team and a 1-loss Georgia team and a 1-loss Alabama SEC or SEC champion is still a better team than what TCU and UCLA are.
Can I mark down a prediction real quick though?
Yeah, are you gonna write on the board?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll write it on the board.
Yeah,
I'll write it on the board. It's gonna be Ohio State, all right. but I do not think it'll be exactly those 3 SEC teams. If that's the case, if there will be 3, I don't think it'll be those 3 altogether. I do think it'll be Georgia. I do think it'll be Tennessee, but I
If
don't
you
even
say
think
Ole Miss,
I don't think Alabama's making it this year. I'll be honest, because I do think Ole Miss is going to beat them in a couple weeks.
I don't know. Oh, Jacob, I want to agree with you on that. But here's the thing: to me, the entire package of Ole Miss, to me, has been just as ugly as what Alabama has. Now, granted, I did say that Ole Miss at the beginning of the season, I didn't think they were going to be very good because they lost Matt Corral last. Now, if Matt Corral was still their quarterback this year, if he was their quarterback this year, hands down undefeated. But now you're starting to see Lane Kiffin develop these guys because every single week they're getting better. There's only one issue though. They don't have a defense worth 2 cents. In my opinion, they do not have a great defense at all. And that's very, very hard to come by. Now, is it at Alabama or is it at Ole Miss?
It's at Ole Miss.
Yeah, it's at Ole Miss.
Okay, so
it's in Oxford.
So we may get a better game as far as being at Oxford goes and everything like that. We'll have to see when that time gets here. But I'm just saying if it's gonna happen, which I don't think we're gonna get 3 SEC teams in there, guys. But I am throwing it out there because there is a legitimate argument to say that there could be a possibility we have 3 teams in the same conference going to a college football playoff, and all of them have their own argument.
Tyler actually sent me a 4 SEC team playoff scenario. I don't think that won't happen.
As long as Ohio State's undefeated and or wins the Big Ten, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, even if we don't stay undefeated, and God forbid,
careful,
I'm sorry.
Jacob. Careful,
I'm
Jacob.
sorry. If that one team ends up beating us and wins the Big Ten, they would still be in.
Yeah.
I don't think
the
I
scenario.
don't think the Big Ten would be completely out.
The scenario that he sent me is the first seed is Alabama with a 12-1 as SEC champion, Georgia at a 12-1 as SEC runner-up, Tennessee at the third with an 11-1. They beat Alabama, and Ole Miss an 11-1. They're only lost to Alabama. That was this is not his scenario. He pulled this from someone else.
Non-conference title teams. They would not.
But going back to Ole Miss real quick, I think their biggest flaw right now, and one reason why I don't think they're going to beat Alabama, is because Alabama's pass offense can compete with Jackson Dart and Ole Miss. Okay, don't get me wrong, Jackson Dart with Ole Miss, that passing offense is very, very good right now. But where the difference is, Ole Miss has struggled to run the ball consistently, and they have a terrible run defense. When you have 2 running backs for Alabama that can put up 180 yards apiece, and they just gave up 301 rushing yards to Auburn this past week, that's going to be an issue.
Now, I will say this is probably the weakest Alabama defense in quite some time, though.
True,
I agree.
Yeah.
Teams have definitely been able to exploit that.
I mean,
over the course of this year
the thing that's going to keep Ole Miss in that game is going to be their pass offense against Alabama's secondary. Because you saw what Tennessee and Hendon Hooker did. Now, I was wanting to speak on this a little later on, but now, I think Hendon Hooker is a lot better quarterback than what Jackson Dart is at this moment. But I mean, that offense is very potent, though.
There's people talking Hooker should be a Heisman candidate.
Yep. Yeah, him and Stroud are the leading candidates.
You can write this down for me. I don't think he's not only the candidate. I think he's the front runner right now.
Ooh.
So I want to agree with Shane on that because here's the thing, though, guys. If you look at the SEC statistics in the SEC, and including last year, according to statistics, Hendon Hooker was the best quarterback in the SEC last year. And he's the best quarterback in the SEC this year. The stats prove it themselves. That's the one thing that we keep going by all these last few years is the statistics, the analytics, whole 9 yards, and everything like that. If you go by that, Hendon Hooker is the best quarterback in college football right now.
Is he?
Yes.
Now, given C.J. Stroud is very good, but when it comes to Heisman, there's also going to be accountability of like, Heisman moments and the teams that you beat and how you look while beating them. Yes, CJ Stroud has looked very good beating the teams that they've beat, but they haven't played competition. Yeah, no, yes, again, I will reinstate that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing and beating their teams convincingly, but you can't negate a Hendon Hooker quarterback that brought a Tennessee team to frankly mollywhopping Alabama, and looking very good doing it.
I wouldn't say mollywhopping them. That game was like Tennessee, then it came back to Alabama, and then the second half was just back and forth.
I mean, at least that first quarter and a half was Tennessee.
Oh yeah, I thought Tennessee was just gonna run away with that game, and that was gonna be it for Alabama. But then Alabama, Nick Saban did Nick Saban. He knows how to coach. He knows how to get his team back into a game.
Yeah. No, I mean, top to bottom, I think, Tennessee looked unbelievable. The defense, I mean, you're going up against Alabama. What do you expect? And, like what Jacob just said, he knows how to get that team going again. But, when it comes to that Heisman conversation, it's tough. I mean, it's CJ or Hooker, but I'm not going to sit here and say who's the front runner because I really don't know. That's a very, very close race to me right now between those two. And,
real quick, Alex, if you don't mind me kind of jumping in, before we move on to the next thing, who's y'all's top three right now?
for Heisman.
I mean,
Heisman?
yeah. I mean, obviously, to me, it's Hendon and CJ, right? Who's y'all's three? Who's y'all's third?
Well, before he got hurt, Jalen from Kansas was pretty high up there on my list, but now he's hurt and he's gonna miss some time. My number three there. That's a great damn question that I'm gonna have to probably get back to you on. Let me get.
I would say my top three would probably be CJ Stroud, Hooker, and Dugan, the TCU quarterback.
That's fair.
What about you, Ricky?
I agree with Jacob. I think he's got it on the money.
I'm gonna push TCU quarterback to 4. My number 3 would be that Michigan running back.
Oh,
I can see that.
ooh,
I could see that
Yeah.
too. It's
yeah.
Blake.
But I mean, that's
Yeah.
the one thing I hate about the Heisman, though. They really heavily favor quarterbacks more than anything,
Yeah.
even though they touch the ball every damn play. It just
And that's why
doesn't make-
that's why they're the most important player on the field.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking at stats and stuff. I would say TCU quarterback would probably be up there at like 3 or 4. I wouldn't say he's a Heisman candidate, but I really like the way that he's been playing. I really like how Will Rogers is playing out of Mississippi State. Personally, I like how he's playing a lot. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I wouldn't say he's a Heisman candidate, but I definitely like the way the guy's playing.
I mean, for a year that I thought, frankly, that we're gonna have some. I mean, of course, we're gonna see some good quarterback play, but as far as like draft and moving on in the future does, I honestly think there is. I can honestly give CJ and Hendon right now a first round grade for me, and that's something that I couldn't say last year about any of those quarterbacks. And I mean,
This draft's gonna be very deep in quarterback.
Yeah, and Jackson Dart, I know he's not up. I don't think he's up for the draft, but he's playing pretty well. He's not like a top tier quarterback right now, like in that kind of S tier, like Hooker or Stroud, but he's playing well. Especially the SEC, I think the quarterbacks are a lot deeper than what I thought they were going to be this year.
So I found something very interesting, gentlemen. This is coming from a website. I'm trying to remember. It's called Sports Knot. Sports Knots. And this is what the Heisman Trophy ballot has right now. The favorite right now is Hendon Hooker, 1,817 passing yards, 15 touchdowns, only 1 pick, 287 rush yards for 3 touchdowns. The next one is C.J. Stroud. Blake Corum is number 3. Caleb Williams, I'm surprised he'd be even considered right now, but Caleb Williams is number 4. Then they've got Bryce Young at 5. Cameron Rising, the quarterback from Utah. Dorian Thompson from UCLA. And I think it's DJ Ugalele. I think that's how you pronounce his last name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
close enough.
He's 8, but that's what they have right now in the top 8. So
So they didn't. Do they not even have that Michigan running back in the top 8?
yeah, he's number 3.
Okay,
Yeah,
I just didn't know what his name was. So
Blake Corum's his name.
Yeah, Blake
Okay.
Corum.
And so yeah, Blake, and of course, and the outside looking in, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Hartman, which that's not surprising. I wish he would have been available the first couple of weeks.
True.
Will Anderson and Stetson Bennett round out who they think, who at least this website thinks. So that just gives us a perspective on what the odds makers are really considering as far as like Heisman hopeful goes right now. Of course, obviously, there's still a lot of football left to play.
for sure, we're almost to the halfway point though.
Now,
I can't wait for the first college football playoff rankings to come out November 1st.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, not
I'm ready
far.
for it myself. And so now, of course, there was also, if the BCS still existed, I keep getting these from Brad every week. If the BCS still existed right now, I think they had, I'm wanting to say they had either Tennessee or Georgia 1, but they had Ohio State number 3. And the only reason they had Ohio State number 3 is because their schedule.
Yep.
I mean, I'm going to tell you guys right now, as much as I hate to freaking say it, Ohio State's still the best team in the country, in my opinion.
they
I
are.
agree.
They are.
I agree.
Yep.
It pains me to say.
I
it.
love
It
to
pains me
hear
so
people
much.
say that.
Hey,
so
Ricky, can
much.
I get
it warms my heart.
Ricky.
But look, I will be the very first person that if there's a close game and Ohio State does not look like this Goliath like they have been to a team that they should beat the shit out of, I'm going. Oh, I'm dropping them. Oh, I'm dropping them.
You're dropping them
Hey,
at that
hold on
point.
now, hold
I'm
on.
dropping them.
Georgia's had that like multiple times. Alabama has had it multiple
mean-
times. They lost.
Yeah. And that's why I've been kind of like questioning Georgia. I've had that question a couple times now, from how Georgia's looking. But Ricky, I'm gonna throw you a layup. OH.
Come on,
OH.
say it. Say it.
I ain't saying it.
Come on.
All right.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm
You
not
know
saying
what?
no.
You know what?
Not
You know
saying
what?
it.
OH!
Not doing it.
You know what? I'll do it with you, Jacob, if you give me a Woo Pick Suey.
That's it.
If they win this week, I'll do it.
It's a bye
Sign it
week.
up.
It's a bye
Oh,
week.
it's a
They're
bye week.
automatically
Yeah, we have
winning.
a
Go
bye
ahead
week
and do
this
it.
week.
Nah, that's not a win. That's a tie.
Listen, it's
Hey,
still
hey.
Chad Morris is still the only one to lose a bye week. Okay.
Exactly. We have lost bye weeks before, Jacob. I don't want.
Listen,
this
you
is-
practice your IO. I'll practice my SUI over the next week, and then next week when we come back, I'll demonstrate.
See, this is,
I'll do it.
I'm going to tell you why this show can be bullshit sometimes. Because Jacob's the only one who doesn't have to suffer in college football.
That's true.
Hey, I did last year. I did my fair share of suffering when we lost to Michigan last year.
Oh,
Okay?
it was a one loss to Michigan, and Ryan Day deserved to lose. That little arrogant prick. I can't stand him. I can't stand Ryan Day. I can't stand that dude. I'm
Hey,
telling
man,
you, I can't stand that dude.
outside of Nick Saban and Dabo, he's the third best, I would say.
I agree. I will say that. I will give you that much. But I will give you that much. I will definitely give you that much. And I do see him going to NFL soon, though. I really do.
Ryan Day.
Nah.
Yes,
Mm,
I see him as an NFL coach.
I don't know. I don't know about that one. I feel
They
like-
did let Urban Meyer in the NFL. Just letting y'all. Just saying that.
I know. Trust
Yeah,
me.
but Urban was a head coach in college football for decades at
Yeah.
that point.
And they had nobody else to tend to because all the football coaches they had during the time that Urban Meyer was in the coach of college football are all either dead or retired. Unless you're Pete Carroll.
Oh God, I know. How are we feeling about the AP Top 25? You think they kind of hit it on the head with where Tennessee ended up going? Where Alabama dropped, everyone kind of bumped up, got moved down. How are we feeling about it?
I actually haven't seen it, but
Let
if
me
I
look
was
at
to
it real
guess,
quick.
then most likely no.
Number 1,
Okay.
Georgia. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 3, Tennessee. Number 4, Michigan. Number 5, Clemson. Number 6, Bama. 7, Ole Miss. 8, TCU. 9, UCLA. 10, Oregon. To start off with the top 10.
Hey, how about that Tulane cracking the top 25? I told you guys.
That's true.
Tulane was a good team this year.
And Tyler just put it in the chat too. Tulane Green Wave. Let's go. That's true. That is
So,
true.
Tulane has 1 loss.
Mhm.
Kansas State has 1 loss. Kansas State's 1 loss was to Tulane, but yet they're ranked above Tulane. Okay, I just want to throw that out there.
That's because Tulane. That's because K State beat a number 6 at the time, number 6 Oklahoma.
That's fair.
Yeah, I will do it for the most part.
And K State has 3 top 25 games over the course of the next 3 weeks.
Very, very true.
The only thing I don't agree with, I would have Alabama 5, Clemson 6 or 7, depending on. Well, yeah, I would have Clemson actually 7, TCU 6, and then Ole Miss and UCLA.
Now, while I want to agree with you on terms of talent, just in terms of like, how the teams have unfortunately done, I guess where I gotta disagree with you. I mean, it makes sense that Clemson's number 5. They were 4. I knew they would probably drop. I knew Tennessee was going to jump up to at least 3. I thought 2 was a possibility strictly because Ohio State had that bye, so everyone was going to be riding the high of Tennessee like they rode the high of Florida when they bumped Florida all the way up to like number 12. So I kind of thought that was a possibility, 2 or 3 for Tennessee. Clemson, in my mind, I had locked at 5. I knew Michigan would jump up because they beat Penn State, obviously, and Alabama. I had personally at 6 or 7 going into it. When I made like my own like sort of projections of like I got to 13. I actually hit it on the head for UCLA and Oregon and even Oklahoma and USC. I got all those on the mark how I thought they would go. But TCU got a good little jump there, so that's good to see. And then obviously Ole Miss did as well. But I wouldn't put Clemson much further, even though I still think they're overrated and I still think they will lose. I wouldn't drop them much further than 5 right now, especially since
what they were talking about, a couple people that I've seen who are voters for the AP poll were saying that because the reason why Clemson is above Alabama is because Clemson has beaten 2 top 25 teams and Alabama's only beaten 1 so far this year.
Yeah,
and Clemson also beat a top 10 team in NC State at the time.
I would agree with that, but then also especially because we're a week or 2 away from the college football playoff rankings.
2
weeks.
I mean, this is when I would really start setting up for those rankings and go a little bit deeper. You've also then I gotta start looking at the rest of the competition and how they played against them.
Yep.
So that's why I would be dropping Clemson a little bit farther, and then moving some stuff around between 5 and 9.
Oh, don't worry.
Other than that,
Clemson will drop soon. Don't worry, they will
for sure.
Who do you have Clemson losing to?
Huh?
Who do you have Clemson losing to?
The Orange.
Whoa, okay, I like it. I had them losing to Florida State last week, and that didn't happen. But hey, I did say 3 undefeated teams would go down, and I was right about those 3, so I'm okay.
Which speaking of
that Clemson Florida State game was really competitive. I liked that game.
It was. It definitely was competitive.
I want to bring something up regarding Clemson Florida State and Tyler. That's in chat right now. I got off of work Saturday night, and I went to go pick up my vape because my other one died. And the vape shops in West Little Rock or whatever, and I ran into Casey Gaines, which, as Tyler knows, is the biggest Florida State fan that you can think of. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm just watching the game. It's halftime. Florida State's down 14-0." In my head, I was like, "Thank God," but I was like, but yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny.
That is
I was also happy that USC got beat. I was so happy they got beat.
Yeah, they did. 43-42 to Utah. I'm not going to say it was a shocker, but I did think USC was going to win that game. Like, we knew USC was probably going to drop one at some point. It was just a matter of when, whether if it beat a Utah or UCLA or, I think they still have Oregon on their schedule too. So we knew they were going to drop it at some point. It's just a matter of when. But, man.
I will say, and I know you might hate it because of the whole fuck Florida State thing.
Oh, no.
But I think Florida State right now is the most competitive 4-3 team in the NCAA.
I mean, I
think they are. I think they are way, way better than what their record shows.
I will agree to that.
They did get 1 vote. Just
They
like
did get one vote.
Arkansas also got 1 vote, and Minnesota got 1 vote, and Liberty got 2, and South Alabama got 4. Ooh, spicy! Shout out to the Jaguars. Shout out to the Jaguars.
Unfortunate for James Madison.
I know. They just get ranked and they catch an L. That was unfortunate to see. All right, let's see. What are some other games we want to chat about here today? Man, also big T's and P's to Devin Leary from NC State, going to be out for the rest of the year. That basically just kills NC State's season. That's very unfortunate.
Yeah, that is definitely because I had a high hopes.
So did I.
For NC State.
So did I. I had very high hopes.
Hey, but Bielema keeps winning.
I know, man. Illinois, dude. Illinois is rocking right now.
Yes, I will say that Illinois has officially cemented themselves as the 3rd best team in the Big Ten currently with that win over Minnesota.
Yep. Yeah.
And Texas, man, that Texas-Iowa State game, whoo-wee, that was a great game.
True.
Iowa State has a very good defense. They have a great defense. They do not have a lick worth of offense.
Yep. Then unfortunately the Miracle Whip coffee drink motherfucker won against Mississippi State, but it is what it is.
Please tell me I was not the only one to catch this game, but Old Dominion just smacked the shit out of Coastal Carolina.
I did not check out that game, no, but I saw it.
They handed Coastal Carolina their first loss, and it was 49-21.
And you got to look at that and just question what went wrong. What went wrong in that 3rd quarter when Old Dominion got 21 points? What happened? What happened with Coastal Carolina, man? Let me actually.
It was man. They couldn't get anything done. It was 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, turnover, 3 and out. It was so bad. It's the worst I've seen Coastal Carolina play in the past couple years, I would say.
Well, they did lose a little bit from last year as well, but then again they've played well up until this past Saturday, anyways. So I mean, like I said, this is
for the last couple weeks they have been really they've been teetering. Coastal Carolina has. They have only won the last couple games by less than a touchdown or less. So this loss has been in the waiting for a little while now.
Well, yeah, of course, Old Dominion is not a pushover either. They're one of those teams. They're on the outside looking in after beating Virginia Tech. They had a couple of disappointing games, if I'm not mistaken, just off the top of my head, games they probably should have won that they didn't end up winning. But I mean, in the end, I mean, Old Dominion, they're no pushover, and that Sun Belt's very competitive.
Yeah, it is. I've got the standings pulled up right now, and with that dub, Old Dominion's actually sitting on top of the East at the moment because they're currently 2-0 in conference. When Coastal and James are both 3-1 right at the moment. So just because they're undefeated, they're at the top right now. And then on the other end, you got South Alabama undefeated in conference at the top over there on the West.
South Alabama has a tough one this week. They play Troy.
Yep.
And
they're the top 2 teams of the Sun Belt West right now too.
Is that at Troy?
That's South Alabama, I think.
Okay.
Let me look. It's at Troy. No, it's at South Alabama. Sorry. It is South Alabama. Apologies. So that's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good game in the Sun Belt there. Let's see. Shout out to Hawaii getting that dub though, like we already mentioned. Shout out to that. Beat Nevada. Knew that would happen. Locked that in 100%. I never had a doubt. For sure. Never had a doubt. Anyway. So any other games that we kind of want to chat about and dive into? I mean, Michigan just completely ran over Penn State. Just made Penn State look like a complete bitch, like happens every single year because Penn State.
That was a game of 2 halves, though.
Penn State can't win the big games. That's just the bottom line.
That was a game of 2 halves. The first half, it was very competitive. The second half,
I see that.
Michigan just took off with it.
Yep, Penn State field goal second half. That's it. Penn State just dropped the ball there.
They allowed 2 running backs to have 170 plus rushing yards. You're not gonna win a game doing that, bud. It's not gonna happen.
It's sad. Penn State could legitimately be a championship contender team. They could be the #1 team in the country if they simply just let Chad Powers onto that team, but they wouldn't let him on. It's unfortunate.
There you go.
It's unfortunate, but Penn State could.
It is.
Chad Powers is the Gardner Minshew of college football. I mean, he is the one that's going to take them to a championship. But Jay Frank, you got to fire him. He can't recognize talent when it walks in his door. So it's
Now,
unfortunate.
this is a little controversial, but we're going to set the controversy aside for a second, all right? If
What's up, Steve?
they would not have fired Joe Paterno or let him go, I guarantee Penn State would have won a national championship again.
I agree.
That's very, very hard to say, Jacob, because if you look at toward the end of Joe Paterno's career, he was basically mediocre than what Penn State's doing right now. I mean, they're the exact same. The only difference is that they're in a new era. They're the exact same mediocrity that they've been for years.
They have been mediocrity for years. Yeah.
They
have
would not
like
have won.
one or two NFL talent players on their teams every year, but they just don't have every other piece. It's that one or two people.
Hey, and I loved Joe Paterno as a coach. I absolutely loved that guy. Watching that old guy, I thought he was going to be on oxygen, being on the sideline before he got let go or whatever it was. But
Yeah, you're
unfortunately,
going to have to pull him out in a stretcher to get him to leave.
Exactly. I mean, it just is what it is. But no, Penn State's been a mediocrity for years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. What other college games do we want to chat about here?
Oklahoma State, TCU.
Hey, no,
that was a very
good one too.
Yeah, that was. I
forgot about
game.
that one.
Yeah, pull up right here.
Yeah, it was. I was at work and I had that game on the screen on the back of my store, and I looked up. Oklahoma was up by like 2 scores or something like that, and I helped like 2 or 3 more customers. 2 hours went by. I looked up and it was tie game. I was like, "What?
Yep.
The fuck is going on?"
Yeah, Oklahoma State only got 6 points in the second half. Meanwhile, TCU brought it back, got 17 to tie it up, send overtime.
That overtime was great. That it was reminiscent of what happened week 1 with Cincinnati, where it was a field goal missed, and field goal made.
Right. Yeah. No, that was a great game, top to bottom. I feel like it further put TCU in a phenomenal position. For the Big 12 right now. Let me actually pull up their schedule. Let me pull up Big 12.
I think they play Kansas State this week.
Yep.
Yeah, they do. That's gonna be a big one.
They still have to play Texas.
Yep. Yeah, TCU's got Kansas State this week. I mean, really, the rest of the schedule, in my opinion, are all games where it's like, we'll see what happens. You got West Virginia, you got Texas Tech, Texas, Baylor, and Iowa State. In theory, at least, in my opinion, 3 of these, they should, be very much in the favor to win. But at the same time, you never know. The only one that I would consider a lock would be West Virginia. I mean, Texas Tech, I wouldn't write Texas Tech off against them. I wouldn't write Baylor off. I wouldn't write Iowa State off. So this Big 12 is going to get pretty exciting going forward, and it's going to start really this week now that we're kind of where we are, because the only undefeated teams left in conference play is TCU and Kansas State. So it's about to get very spicy going forward.
I don't think I'd lock West Virginia after them beating Baylor this week.
They did, yeah. That's a good point. May have spoke too soon on that.
And I will say, staying in the state of Oklahoma, how the fuck does Oklahoma look shitty 3 weeks in a row and then look great against Kansas and pull off that win?
And Kansas was without their starting quarterback.
Yeah, that's ultimately what killed them there. Because
they still managed to put up 42 points.
And also, I didn't know this. I guess since I typically work weekends, I haven't been able to pay attention as much as I did last year. But Dylan Gabriel didn't play in that Texas game, and then came out against us in Kansas and looked phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, I'm a big Dylan Gabriel fan.
I love Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel's awesome. And also shout out to Tyler. All right, have a good one. Enjoy your hockey. But also when it comes to that Kansas game, even though Jalen left the game, the backup that came in, Jason, he didn't play bad though. 16 for 24, 262, 4 TDs, a pick, QBR of 90.1. That's not terrible. He's not terrible. He came in and played pretty good ball. But Jalen Daniels is still the one that takes the team to the next level. Because there for a little bit, Jalen Daniels was being talked as like a Heisman, candidate. But now, like I said, he's going to miss some time. I don't know how much time. Let me see. Earliest potential return date is November 5th against Oklahoma State for Jalen Daniels. So
Ooh, that'll be a good game.
yeah, if he's able to make it back on time, so that's something we're gonna have to watch there. Let's see. How else we feeling on stuff, boys? What other games you got circled there we want to shout out? Shout out to Vandy. Vandy put up a fight.
Finally.
They put up a fight. I'll give it to them. They tried. They gave it their best shot. Good college try.
They still beat Hawaii.
Oh, come on.
I'll just say one thing, and I'll be okay with moving on to the NFL or whatever we got next. But Arkansas covered, Arkansas won, and our next 4 opponents are all in the late 80s to like the early hundreds in rush defense. The next 5 opponents, so look forward to that.
You guys won't see the top 25 the rest of the year, so it's okay.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we will. Gotta hope for something.
I see 3 more losses for Arkansas, so get ready, boys.
You guys haven't gotten to the 5 yet. You guys haven't gotten to the 5 yet.
You guys kill me. You said BYU was going to be 1 of 5. I don't want to hear it.
But you have hey,
you still
5
got-
is still on the board.
Yeah,
though.
it's still on the board.
It's
I
not
see.
gonna
I
happen.
see
Listen,
3
you
more
two
coming.
Listen, you 2 Arkansas haters. You've got to admit we looked good against BYU, who honestly we all 4 thought we were going to lose that game. Okay, because BYU has looked better than us, and we came out there and beat them by 17. KJ threw for 5 tutties. Okay.
And he threw 40 passes, which is the first time he's ever done in his entire career. But before we move on, I just want to let you 2 know something. You 2 disgust me because I don't put. Listen, no. I don't put my hatred feelings whenever I make picks and everything like that. See, here's the thing: Alex doesn't have the balls to pick Florida State to win a game, and Jacob
It's not that I don't have
doesn't
the balls. It's
to
just
pick
I
anybody
hate them
but
so
Ohio
much.
State. Do what?
It's not that I don't have the
Outta here.
balls. I just hate them so much.
But so what?
Hey,
I
if you
hate
want to
Ohio
see some
State.
balls, I'll show you some balls when we get to our picks here soon. I got the balls. I just say
hate
fuck
Ohio
Florida State.
so much. I hate Ohio State so much, but yet I am sitting here willing to admit they're the best team in the country right now. And
That's
yet
because
it's
you
the truth.
two,
That's just because it's the truth.
And you 2 just want to absolutely just hate and dog shit on my Arkansas Razorbacks. What is wrong with you 2? Were you loved as children?
Listen, if I was an unbiased, uncultured football fan, I could definitely pitch a debate on Ohio State not being the number 1 team, but I am unbiased and I am cultured and I know football to where I have to give you that credit. But listen, come on, guys. Come on. 1 game.
3 more
one
losses.
one game against
what's
BYU,
this?
you can give us some
What's
credit.
this?
3 more losses.
What is this? What is this?
3.
3 more losses.
3 what?
You guys have seen 3 losses in a row already this year. You're about to see 3 more.
So yeah,
You get a week
you're looking at
break.
the same
You get
3
a
that
week-
I am.
Out
You get a
damn
week break with
mind.
Auburn. You get a week break, but then
Yeah.
Liberty, LSU,
Ole
Ole
Miss.
Miss, down, down, down.
We're not
L's all
losing to
around.
Liberty.
Listen,
We're not
this
losing to Liberty. I swear to
is
my
the-
soul. Y'all gonna make me go off. This is the blasphemy, the disrespect that comes out of your 2 mouths.
I want you to know
here today.
I want you to know this. My mother, when she was still around, she was a diehard Arkansas fan. And whenever I reached my point of being able to think for myself and decided to go another direction and not just be brainwashed by everyone around me, and I just grew to hate the Arkansas Razorbacks, she would always question where she went wrong. So, but at the same time, I feel like I did the right
were
things in
dropped
my
on-
life.
I'm
You were
starting to
dropped on
agree
your
with your
head at
mother.
that.
I'm starting to agree with your mother, Alex. Okay, what the fuck went wrong? Okay.
I feel like I went the right direction in life, made my own choices, and now I have to live with those choices, because here I am as a Hawaii fan.
I'm right there
Disgusting.
with you. I'm right there with you. One set of grandparents of mine were Michigan fans. One set is Ohio State fans.
You had to make a choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had to make a choice.
And listen, and I don't understand Jacob's hate for Arkansas unless it's just towards me and Ricky personally.
Yeah,
Because
it's just to
the
fuck with you
one
guys.
time that we even played, the one time we even played was 2012, and Ohio State won that game, even though they shouldn't have because of a stupid tripping call. But that we won't talk about that.
It's just fun to fuck with you guys. You know, I'm
yeah.
glad that Jacob is there to back me up and just slam dunk on you guys. But in my case, I actually do hate the Arkansas Razorbacks, so it just makes it more entertaining for me.
I have a distaste for all SEC teams, so
That's fair.
you guys just get guilty by association.
That's because you don't like the best.
That is really debatable.
Hang on. There is nothing debatable when it comes to the SEC, sir.
Listen,
There is a reason. There is a reason in the past 20 years the SEC has won more championships than any conference combined.
Is there also a reason why you guys play so many FCS teams a year?
Everybody plays FCS. You got to put somebody on the schedule.
But you put them lower FBS teams on the schedule, and then we'll talk.
This sounds like a little sauerkraut Ohio State fan who's won one championship since the playoffs existed.
We won the first one.
Won the first one.
We won the first one.
And you've won 2 overall since the year 2000. So I don't want to.
How many has Arkansas won in the last?
Listen, when it comes
the SEC,
hold
sir,
on.
I'm not talking about
Listen,
Ohio State. I'm talking about the SEC versus the Big Ten, and you know I'm right. It's not even close.
Listen, this all coming from an Arkansas fan. I just want to point out Arkansas's literal only bit of fame they've got is that Jerry Jones went there and they're part of the SEC. That's all they got going. They don't got any other piece of fame
That's
on
not
it.
true.
Okay, listen, we've got.
You guys are riding the coattails of we're in the
soccer top
SEC.
10, men's and women's soccer top 10. Track.
Oh, I'm
teams
talking
won
football
20
right now.
national championships.
This
in
is
the
a
last
terrible
21
football
years.
show.
Baseball.
This is a terrible football show.
Who
understand
cares about
that,
soccer?
But you said Arkansas Razorbacks. You said
As
Arkansas Razorbacks
football,
in total
as
here.
football.
And you saying that we don't have anything. Literally, the only team that's not in the top 10 right now is football.
And that is legit.
Big yikes.
Legitimate. That is a legitimate argument that Shane has just provided for you right there. We have a great sports program at the U of A currently right now, thanks to the hiring of one great Hunter Yurachek.
Only piece of notability of Arkansas is back to Jerry Jones. Anyway, moving on.
True.
That is
Top
not
over to
true.
the NFL.
We have Darren McFadden.
Let's hop over to the NFL, boys.
Who?
I just love dunking on you guys. It's fun. It's a good time. I know. Read between the lines. I got it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good back and forth. It's
fun.
2v2,
It's
you
fun.
know, it is what it is.
Listen, the thing is, like, it's
2v2
all
Rust, 2v2 Rust, 2v2 Rust.
it's all my 2v2 Rust. Yeah, I'll meet you on Rust. I'll 360 no scope you.
Why?
Listen, it's one of those things for me. I guess I'm sorry, guys. I do apologize. It's just all my pent up hatred because every sports team I follow is garbage. So, I just want to spread my hatred and misery on everyone else. It's just, I'm sorry.
Look,
I don't apologize.
I just ask the bare minimum, right? You can shit on us when we're bad. That's fine. Okay, that's cool. You're not a fan, but at least give us some props when we do some shit right. Okay.
Hey, hold on.
3 more losses.
Earlier this year, I picked you guys to win a couple games, okay?
Or a couple
I'm
games.
giving you-
To Liberty, my guy.
Yeah, now.
Okay, we're gonna go to the NFL. We're gonna go NFL. Where do we want to start with the NFL? Where do we want to start? Bears stink.
You know what?
No more to talk about that.
No. Dallas Cowboys. Okay, I know this is gonna shit on Ricky too, but we're gonna start with the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm wearing green for a reason today. Fly Eagle fly. I picked it.
We
Cowboys.
have a backup quarterback.
I don't care. Oh, but he was 5-0 coming into the game though.
Yeah, because of our defense.
That's true. Our defense is
All right,
solid
yeah,
as shit.
We're keeping it going. Let's go.
Shane. And I want. Hey, Jacob, you got your board? Write this down.
All right.
The Dallas Cowboys are still going to win the NFC East.
Negative.
I'm not
That
going to
one
write that
loss.
down.
That one.
think the
Anyway.
Giants have a better opportunity to win the NFC East than we do. I'll be honest.
Okay, let's pause there. Hold on. Do we need to really look at the Giants as a legitimate team right now? Because for
Yes, we
me,
do.
Yes.
because like,
For sure.
can we all be in agreement? Like those first few weeks, whatever. It was like, okay, they're starting hot, but the train's gonna fall off at some point. You know what I mean? Because that was my thought. But now that we've reached this point, like I feel like okay, we need to start looking at this Giants team a little bit differently.
And not just the Giants, also the Jets. We have to give credit where credit's due. Both
True.
of these New York teams are great this year.
I have to agree. I mean, there was a reason me and Jacob on the air,
Yep. Very worried
both
about
Dallas
that game.
Cowboy fans did pick the Giants to win that Monday Night Football game against Dallas. And I was just as shocked as everyone else when we actually won that game because I legitimately thought this could be a slip up for us because of what had happened previously. And so, but I mean, you can't really, the one thing is you can't argue is there is a possibility that you're going to see 3 NFC East teams in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, and honestly, when it comes to the Giants, what's also wild to think about is the Giants are probably about to be like 9-1, like legit. They're about to potentially be 9-1 because you look at their next 4 games and they're all very winnable games for the Giants of at Jacksonville, at Seattle, hosting Houston, and then hosting Detroit, and then after that you're going back to Dallas. So the Giants could legitimately be 9-1. I mean, could catch a couple losses in there potentially, but I'm calling 9-1 right now.
That Seattle game's probably going to be their toughest game in that stretch.
Yeah, and I'll have to agree because Seattle. You never know which Seattle team you're going to get.
That's
but
true.
like this past weekend, you saw Seattle play great football, and so you just never know. But if you look at it overall, though, I would say they've played good football this year. Considering I only had them winning like 2 or 3 games this year, I didn't think Seattle was going to be that great.
Yeah. By the way, R.I.P. Cardinals.
I know.
Bye bye.
Yeah, dude, they signed Kyler to that fat contract. There was the drama behind it with the studying clause and stuff, and now it's just like, look where they are. But now, I think the Cardinals stink up front. I think Cliff Kingsbury is not, the answer for them. But at the same time, with how history has always gone for his teams, there's that little creeping thought in the back of my head. Are they going to flip the script for once where instead of starting hot, they're going to get hot? Because every Cliff Kingsbury team from Texas Tech to Arizona starts hot and fizzles out brutally. Like, are they going to reverse it this time? Are they going to start like shit and then get hot? I don't know. I'm gonna ride with they're gonna stink and they're gonna kind of go out from there. Hey,
I'll be honest, man. The only easy game they have left on the schedule is the Broncos, and that's it.
Oh, that is true. Saints, Vikings, Seahawks, Rams, Niners, Chargers, Patriots, Broncos, Bucks, Falcons, and Niners.
Which honestly, let's be honest here, the Bucks do not look like even close to the team that they were 2 years ago or even last year.
Like I said, Tom Brady came out of retirement to get away from his supermodel wife. Now he's going to get divorced, all just to lose in the first round of the playoffs. If they make it.
I saw this.
I'm gonna go further than that. I don't think the Bucks are going to make the playoffs.
I could see that happening.
I saw this thing on Twitter. I don't know if it was true or not, but because I actually didn't get to catch the soundbite, but it was when Tom Brady was yelling at his offensive line in the offense. He was like, "I did not leave my wife to be losing to who do they play this weekend? I forgot.
The Pittsburgh Steelers."
Yeah, he's like, I did not leave my wife to come back to play another year to be behind Kenny Pickett at halftime.
Yep. And then Trubisky came in too.
Ben Roethlisberger had a quote out there from after that game because he said he was at the game, and one of the things he noticed with Tom over the weekend is Tom's not having fun right now. Like he's not Tom. He is not the Tom Brady that we're used to seeing. Basically, is what he was trying to get at. And I don't think Tom is having fun. I mean, you look at his clause like this year, he's taking off every Wednesday this year.
Yep.
Why is that? He is getting old. He has other stuff that's going on outside of football. I get that whole part. But I mean, I think this retirement return was a big mistake.
Oh yeah, 100%. Huge mistake. He should have just rode off into the sunset, man. It's gonna bite him in the ass. Like, just imagine how wild of of a scenario it's going to be if the Falcons end up being the one that win that division. Because Saints haven't looked great. We know Panthers are out. Bucks have looked like crap. I mean, who's going to win it? I mean, it could legitimately be the Falcons.
And
Well,
I had the Falcons winning 3 or 4 games this year. I can't
Yeah.
remember. I didn't have them winning that many.
I didn't have
that
them winning
much.
many either.
that's not to take anything away from Brady, though. He's still 5th in the league for passing yards. He's still
Yeah, true.
top 15 for touchdowns. He only has 1 interception this year. He's still playing good ball for as old as he is.
But it's just like the team can't get it together.
His
the
offensive
entire
line is
offense-
garbage.
Which is so
Yeah.
sad because that's like been a good line for him since he's been there. They have one of the best tackles in the league by far with Tristan Wirfs.
Yep.
And that team has just dropped the ball, man. Like I don't even know what's happening. I don't know. Actually, yeah, I do. I know. The team got cursed because they brought in Antonio Brown, and now it's catching up to him.
They make it to the playoffs. I'm not counting them out because you never count out Tom Brady in the playoffs.
That's fair.
Ever.
Yeah,
I
never.
agree, but
Never.
I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this. Now I'll agree. I started agreeing with people probably about 2 years ago when he won his most recent championship. Tom Brady did, that he's the GOAT. But look at it this way. I think there's more to being the greatest of all time at a position or whatever it may be than just accomplishments. Because I think there has to be an eye test as far as talent and athleticism and being able to do stuff at that position that no one else can. And I think that's what hurts Tom Brady, in my opinion, when it comes to being the greatest of all time. Because he doesn't do things extraordinary that people you see like Aaron Rodgers can do or things like that. And I know I'm just going to pitch that in. Now I'll say one thing. Yes, he's the most accomplished. He'll go down as the greatest of all time. Do I personally think he is? No, but I think he is. I mean,
Who do you
he's
think is the
definitely.
GOAT?
I mean, honestly, I don't really have an opinion on it, but I'm just saying that I think people just get too caught up that he's won 6 or 7 Super Bowls or however many he is, and all this stuff. I think there's got to be more in-depth conversation with that. But I mean, I'm not saying that he's bad and he sucks and yada yada, because that's obviously not true. And he is one of the greatest of all time, but I think there has to be a deeper conversation in that, and just accomplishments.
Hold on now. Last year, he did lead the league in passing yards for as old as he was. That's
agree, yeah.
That's pretty athletic. If I have anything to say about it, because
I mean, athletically, I mean, it honestly does. I mean, athletically, I'm talking like athletically, like I'm talking like a 5'7" guy dunking the ball. Like that's pure athleticism. You're not gonna see Tom Brady dunking a basketball or doing something like. Yes, he can get out of the pocket and move and yada yada. Like he can do those things, but those things are what you're supposed to be doing as a quarterback. But you're not gonna see him doing extraordinary things like Patrick Mahomes when throwing the ball sideways or no look or like doing things like that, like in order
but
to
it's
get a play done.
it's also those things that Patrick Mahomes has done that has been his downfall.
I agree.
And Shane, you also have to remember the quarterback position, as in what Tom Brady is right now. 90% of quarterbacks, no, it's probably even higher than that. Before 2004, 2005, when the spread offense started to become really, really popular, they all did what Tom Brady does. They stay in the pocket and they throw the ball. And a lot of them were just running teams. They didn't throw the ball near as much as what they do now. So, I mean, you just look at Tom Brady in general. Yes, Tom Brady's the greatest of all time. Athleticism or no athleticism. He has still been able to play the same ball that he's played his entire career. He's still winning games. He's still leading leagues of passing yards, as Jacob said, and he's still winning championships in this era and in the last era. So that's big in itself, just right there.
No, now, I don't want you to think that I'm just saying that he's just not in the conversation and that he's not the player that he is. I know what kind of player he is. I know how great he is. But I think I'm just saying that people kind of get blindly, they just kind of blindly go about it like, oh, he's got 6 Super Bowls, he can do this, he's the greatest of all time. I think it just deserves a little bit, more into that. Now, yes, if the debate comes up and, it comes up to a populist vote, most likely, yes, he will be the greatest of all time. But that's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, just as an accomplished quarterback, nobody else has been able to do what he's done. That's where it really
And
comes
no
to.
one, and honestly, no one's going to. Honestly, like in probably in my lifetime or any of our lifetime, no one's gonna come close.
If Gardner
Ah,
Minshew gets a starting
that's
job, he will.
debatable.
What?
If Gardner Minshew gets a starting job, he will.
Okay. All right. All right. Long neck. David Mills. Let's throw him in there. I'll do that for Tyler. Okay. I'm just kidding.
Let's talk about though Patrick Mahomes for a second. Let's talk about that Bills and Chiefs game.
That was a
for a
great
second.
game. That was a phenomenal game. I had a great time watching it.
I told you though, Bills have the Chiefs number in the regular season, but come playoff time, man,
That's
the
where it
Bills
gets
are going to
sketchy.
find some way to mess it up.
Yeah, that's where it gets a little sketchy. Ooh, I would love to see the Bills get that dub in the postseason, but the Chiefs are still the Chiefs, man, and that's what it comes down to. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes. I mean but that game was a great one to watch, and just came down to the Bills defense actually getting a stop this time and not letting another 13-second situation happen.
Yep.
Even though they are kind of still banged up on the defense, but got the
Which,
job done.
given if you look at that play, Patrick Mahomes should have not thrown that ball. He should have thrown it away. I understand the situation. There wasn't a lot of time left, but you gotta live for the next down.
My
Yeah.
point exactly when it comes to Patrick Mahomes. He tries way too hard to be the hero in a game. And
I agree.
9 times out of 10 is usually his downfall.
That is true. He tries to be Superman at all times. Yeah, that's just the way that he plays. Let's see. The Vikings, though, has been on a nice stretch. They've been on a very nice stretch here recently.
Yeah, kind of like an under the radar stretch, really. Like nobody's really talking about what they're doing and what Justin Jefferson is doing.
I was kind of upset that Skylar Thompson wasn't able to finish that game because I thought he looked pretty clean for his first NFL start. The Dolphins. But something's going on with the Dolphins, man, where there is some type of curse, a quarterback curse or something, where all their quarterbacks just keep getting injured.
It's really just the team, man. Because I remember when they were having the joint practices, this summer. It was funny. I went up. There's a guy at one of the stores that I pop into. He's a Dolphins fan. I walked up to him like, man, what the hell is going on down in Miami? He's like, oh no, man, come on, I just clocked in. Don't ruin my day. What happened? And that was whenever they had to cancel practices because all the Dolphins players, not joking on this, were shitting themselves and puking all over the place. Multiple Dolphins players were sick. So I don't know, man. The Dolphins are just, honestly, I think the Dolphins are just in a cursed situation thanks to the owner, with that investigation going on. They're just cursed. Kind of like the Lions. They got the Calvin Johnson curse, just pay the man his money and the Lions will go on and win the Super Bowl. That's all they got to do is pay the money.
I mean, I think that goes deeper than Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. It does.
I mean, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, but Teddy Bridgewater almost let a comeback, though. We'll say that. He looked really, really good when he came back in.
Yeah, no, he did. Yeah, he did. Teddy looked good. I'm curious. Tua is set to come back. Is it this upcoming week or the week after? It's this week, right?
This coming week
against the Steelers. I'll be curious to see how he looks coming back, man. Dolphins caught 3 L's in a row. Can they bring it back on track or not? And I've seen a lot of conversation of that. Tua is horribly overrated. They only had one good game, and it was against the Ravens. I've seen a lot of conversation about that when he had that comeback. So I'll be curious to see that Sunday night game against the Steelers and how they kind of bring it back. So that's something we're just gonna have to really watch on that front there.
You know who has looked really good this year? And I know one of you in here will like this. And he looked really, really good against the Browns this week. Bailey Zappi.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
The GOAT. Greatest college quarterback of all time.
Do you think that if he continues to do that until Mac Jones comes back, think there'll be a quarterback competition?
I think so.
No.
I think so.
No, and I think it's going to be another Jimmy G situation. To be honest, I think it's going to be they're set on Mac Jones being their starter. They know what he can do for them, and Bailey Zappi is just going to be trade bait at that point.
I don't know. I don't think he'll be trade bait this year. I don't see that happening personally.
You know what? Let's just say screw it. Screw Zappy. Screw Jones. Just start Brian Hoyer the rest of the year.
Yep. There you go. There you go. Then they'll really go to the championship. They'll dig
No,
themselves out of
that's
bottom of the
that's
AFC
that's
East.
no,
Brian
that's
Hoyer
Gardner.
about to be the next Nick Foles.
Or if they bring in Gardner Minshew.
Yep, Gardner Minshew. They'll go straight to
True,
the
true.
championship. I'm telling you.
Yep.
You know, if the
Yep.
Eagles ever have a single shred of doubt in Jalen, just throw Gardner in, and the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. Go ahead and book that in. Hammer it. Bet it. I don't
And
care.
as of right now, Jalen's playing like he's MVP this year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That is true.
they you know
That is true.
that they have 2 MVPs in the quarterback room in Philadelphia. It's wild to me.
Greatest quarterback room of all time.
It is, man. There's
Oh.
like this trumps Joe Montana, Steve Young quarterback room by far. It's not even close.
Let's talk just for a second though. Carolina is just planning on cleaning house, I guess.
Dude, they're dead. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to want to talk about that because there's three giant storylines when it comes to Carolina. For one, they still suck. Two, C-Mac gave the front office, if he was to be traded, his top 8 teams to be traded to, and then 3, Robbie Anderson also requested a trade before hitting the locker room.
I think
this
he
past
already
Sunday.
He got
he's
that
already been
trade.
traded. Yeah, he got the trade already.
Really? Who'd he go
Arizona.
to?
Arizona.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
they
Mark-
have
Hollywood
they
Brown
have, they have
got
Robbie
hurt.
Anderson coming this week, and they also have D Hop
Yep.
coming back this week. So that's insane. Hollywood Brown's out for the rest of the year. Unfortunate, but I think Robbie Anderson is just as good, if not better, than Hollywood Brown is.
I'll agree.
Yep. Yeah, he got out of there quick. They made that trade happen very, very fast. And now they're trying to look to see if they can get C-Mac out of there somehow. But it's just that contract is the problem. You know,
I think he'll
did-
go to. There's talks that he's going to go to the Packers, but I don't think the Packers are going to be able to handle that contract.
So did y'all happen to see what I mean? Even his top 4. So he gave their front office 8 teams, but did y'all see at least the top 4 that he gave them out of those 8?
With the Bills in there somewhere.
Yeah, Bills, Eagles, Chiefs, and Rams.
I think the Bills could benefit the most from having him join.
I agree with that 100%. I think Bills would be the best spot.
Why would the Eagles even want to have him? They have Miles Sanders.
C-Mac,
He's good.
C-Mac is like, he may like get hurt a lot, but C-Mac is, to me, in talent wise and skill level, a significant upgrade over Miles Sanders.
Oh, for sure.
That'd be
And
a
plus,
nice 1-2 punch.
and plus, like, really, I mean, if you look back at it, that's one reason why C-Mac has been getting hurt so much, right? Because he's been a workhorse. He's not built like Derrick Henry. He can't. I don't think he should have to carry a load like that, in the NFL. And comparing him with Miles Sanders, I think that will not only be better for the team, but better for C-Mac's and Miles Sanders' career.
The Eagles are more of a run style team, though, including Jalen Hurts. So that's why I think the Bills could benefit. Even C-Mac could benefit for going to the Bills more so than the Eagles, because he will not have to run nearly as much. Because Josh Allen will throw 50 times a game.
True. And, you know,
he has no problem throwing 50 plus times a game.
And you plug C-Mac in there as well, and it will give you a little bit better of a run game that's not focused around your quarterback. You know, it's great that Josh Allen can do some wonderful things like that hurdle and just be a very, you know, dynamic runner and stuff. But it's like, you don't want that out of your high-end, you know, MVP caliber quarterback. You know what I mean? You just, unless you're like a Lamar Jackson. You know, if you're like
C-Mac,
you just don't want that.
Devin Singletary. Ooh, that's going to be a 1-2 combo. That's going to be a nice 1-2 combo.
Especially with those two running backs being able to catch out of the backfield very well.
Yep.
Or maybe Jerry just makes a call and gets rid of Zeke.
We have Tony Pollard, bro.
Hey, Tony Pollard,
Okay,
Christian McCaffrey.
Are you about to say? Are you really telling me that you're going to take Tony Pollard or Zeke over C-Mac right now?
Yes.
No shot.
Because both Zeke and Tony Pollard are nowhere near as injury prone, which means we won't have to waste money on C-Mac.
But that's what I'm saying though. If you compare him with a back that he doesn't have to carry the load, he's not going to have to carry the load as much to be so injury prone. If you limit his carries, you limit the chances of him being injured.
I can agree to
But
that.
there's
That's
still
why I
that
think it's a good
possibility.
spot
He's
for
made
him.
of glass just like
He is
Tony
made of
Romo.
glass. He is made of glass. That is true. Let's see. Oh, and okay, I wish Steve was still here. I know he's working, but get a comment on this. But man, dude, what the hell is going on in Green Bay? I mean, we got to give credit to the Jets,
Not
sure,
to
but
mention that
yeah, what the hell is
back-to-back
going on?
losses to the Giants and the Jets is like, who would
I
have
know.
thought this was going to happen? Goodness gracious.
But again, guys, I think you also got to look at this. Coming off a really shitty London trip and playing
That's
in
true.
an early game on Sunday.
That's true.
Like,
Yeah, we did
Like,
chat
that's-
about
And
that.
also,
last
the
no
week.
matter what,
Packers
it's
just
tough to
suck
do.
ass this year.
no, I'm not debating that they're not good, but I mean that's extremely difficult to do. Especially when you're going against the Giants and Jets that are two good teams, coming from a London trip like that. Like, that's tough.
I never thought for a moment we would be sitting here talking that the Giants and Jets are good this year. Never once.
I
did it
never
cross my
thought we
mind.
would talk about them at the same time, let alone
Exactly.
this
Yeah.
year.
It's usually one or the other.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
never
exactly.
both.
It's only both if they both suck.
But
Yep.
here is the difference between both those games. The Giants came back to win the game. The Jets, in my opinion, convincingly won that game.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
Brees Hall
Yeah,
had his
man.
coming out game, in my opinion, as well. That's something also
Oh,
to note
man.
there.
But
That
the thing
de-
is, too, for both of these teams, it's been years in the making. They have been building up quietly over the last 3-4 years.
Lots of picks,
It's
lots
about
of
time.
good stuff.
Yeah.
I personally thought next year was going to be Daniel Jones's year in New York, not this year. But this year seems like this is it. This is put up
I
or
mean,
shut
Well,
up.
it
well, the
helps
thing-
that no one's injured. It helps.
But the,
Yeah.
and
That
it
too.
also helps that you have a healthy Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
And I mean, because I literally had Daniel Jones's stats pulled up. He's not playing great. He's not playing bad. He's kind of
He's
just
doing
being the
enough.
guy-
That's
he's
the
doing
thing.
enough, exactly. But Saquon right now is doing what Saquon can do, and I think that's a big part of how the Giants need to run their offense.
See, when it comes to the Giants right now, the big thing is that when it comes to the passing attack, they are doing just enough. You know what I mean? Because we know the situation with Kenny Golladay. Fat contract, hasn't lived up to it. He's unhappy there. Could get traded. Watch that on the trade. Well, probably not. It's too much of a cap hit for this year. So we'll see what happens with Kenny. Tony, who they drafted in the first round, literally last year, I think. He's now in the trade. Their receiving core sucks, okay, up front. They don't have a good receiving core. Daniel's doing just enough, but Barkley is healthy, and the offensive line is better than it's been in Daniel Jones' entire time. Evan Neal, as a rookie, is playing very well. That's cool. But the guy that they drafted last year, Andrew Thomas out of Stanford, I think is where he came from, he's playing like a top 5 tackle in the NFL right now, and that's what they needed. They're on offense, they're doing just enough. On defense, they're doing just enough. They're making shit work. And honestly, there's been a lot of chat from this player, and not just from rumors, but from this player specifically, that he's very interested in going back. If the Giants manage to actually get Odell back in the building, that's going to really help this team on offense, that passing attack even more, where they suffer the most. Because it's like you just got a bunch of, mid-tier receivers. You know what I mean? That's all you've got in New York right now. Slayton is okay. Tony stinks as a first rounder, and he's set to be traded. Golladay has not lived up to that contract. Apparently, he's nothing without Matt Stafford, I guess. I mean, you get Odell in the building to pair up with Daniel Jones. It's going to also elevate that pass attack when the running game is already phenomenal right now with a healthy Barkley. So it's like the Giants right now are doing just enough, but I think with like a signing of Odell and just a little few, you're putting the pieces together to really go on this run, because I still think they're going to be a 9-1 team going into that Dallas game. So Giants are in a very cool spot right now for Big Blue.
I absolutely love the Giants' defensive line. I love Kayvon
Thibodeau's playing awesome.
Yes, I think, man, I've said this last year too. I honestly think that this New York Giants team looks like one of those years that they went to the Super Bowl and overthrown like the top team in the league.
Yeah,
I
you're
was
seeing
really
mirrors of it. Yeah,
I was literally about to say that, but I didn't want to interrupt anybody just to throw that out there. But yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, it looked a lot like a team, that you saw, beat the New England Patriots in a last-second Hail Mary and things like that. It looks a lot like that team. That they're good, but they're doing just enough to win games, and that's all you have to do.
What if
I've
we
always said
have-
that Daniel Jones looks like a Eli Manning Jr.
What
Yeah,
if
he's
we
just
had,
like
Yeah, he does.
what if we had the Giants and the Jets in the playoffs this year?
That'd be wild. That'd be
You
wild.
would talk about they would erupt.
Where's it at this year? Is it in New York? Yo, if the Super Bowl's in New York this year, that would be insane.
That would be insane.
No.
Like,
Oh god.
I think it's in Arizona.
I
think it's in Arizona
this year.
Yeah, I think it's Arizona.
Yes, it is
Yes.
at Arizona.
Oh wait, I know who's not going to be in there.
Arizona.
I guess we're breaking the streak of home teams winning the Super Bowl.
All right. Yeah. Let's see. Next year, 2024 will be in Vegas. That'll be a very cool one to watch. And then after that one, we're going back to Louisiana to have the lights go off. Shout out to
Oh
that.
Lord have mercy. I've been in the Superdome too.
Oh yeah.
But I also will bring this out. I think the Jets, though, are a better team out of the two because that defense is outstanding. That defensive
They have a-
line, that secondary,
They have a better receiving core as well.
yeah, and they don't even have their draft pick, right? I mean, Garrett Williams or whatever his name is, Jameson Williams, he's still out, right?
Wait, who are we
from
talking
the-
about? Right now?
Garrett Wilson? Yeah, he's out.
Are we talking about the Jets still?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's Garrett
Or
Wilson.
no,
No, Garrett Wilson's
yeah.
playing. Jameson Williams.
That's for the
That's who got drafted by the Lions, and he has not played
yeah,
yet.
Lions.
Yeah, Jameson's still out.
But still, either one of those like that's the Jets are looking nice. Like that defensive line, I mean, given the Packers' offensive line is not very good right now because the Jets' defensive line just tore them up. I mean, they were sending like 3 and 4 people, and that I don't know his name, but I was watching highlights, and that he was just terrorizing Aaron Rodgers.
Probably Quinnen
Talk
Williams.
about either Quentin Williams or LaMarcus Joyner.
Yeah, I would say probably Quinnen Williams. He did get 2 sacks, couple tackles for loss, couple tackles, 3 QB hits. Yeah, 3 QB hits. I mean, that's the most on the Jets team that was recorded. So probably Williams. Williams was a first-round pick a few years ago. So.
And the Jets have the best cornerback right now in the
Yo,
league.
dude, I'm telling you, man, it's like they got Revis Island 2.0 all over again, baby.
Yep.
Dude, Sauce Gardner. We look, come on, don't say, oh Lord, we've all been high on Sauce Gardner. This dude's a beast.
Yeah, I was about to say, back to the off season or even like the
playoffs
college
last year.
football or the college football. No, even during the college football season last year during the show, me and Alex both were like, Sauce Gardner and Kobe Bryant they're them.
Yeah.
Like they're the guys. No, Kobe Bryant hasn't really been able to play, but Sauce Gardner is him.
Sauce Gardner is one of the best draft picks that the Jets could have ever made. Straight up, with how in current day for the Jets and where this franchise has been, it's been one of the best draft picks they could have made by far. And they're just they're just singing thanks down to Houston for not taking him, because I actually thought it was possible that he was going to go to Houston. They ended up going with Derek Stingley, who's played pretty well for Houston as well, honestly and truthfully. So, also shout out to the Colts finally beating the streak of not losing to the Jags every time. Shout out to them for that. They're still not what we thought they were going to be coming into this year, though. They still stink. They just don't look like a team that's going to make it very far. They'll probably make the playoffs, but I don't see them making much further than that, unfortunately. I still think it's very much become a 2-team race. I mean, Chargers haven't looked like what we thought they looked like. Broncos, God forbid. I mean, I didn't think they'd go to the playoffs this year, but Jesus Christ, what is happening in Denver? I couldn't even begin to fathom on that one.
Given, I don't,
Shane, what's happening in Denver
Yeah,
right
what
now,
the
dog?
hell's going on? This team stinks.
Listen, I will say it again. It is literally like you're watching a
reality show.
sitcom,
Yeah.
and there's a live, like they're watching a sitcom, with a live audience. That's pretty much what it is right now in Denver. Now, given with the Chargers game, I don't know if they're starting to come about. They looked a little bit better against the Chargers, but I don't know if that's because they're looking better or the Chargers just couldn't get their stuff going.
Chargers
I think
have a lot of
No.
issues right now with injuries and various other things. I mean, right now, they benched J.C. Jackson, who they just signed to a fat contract this offseason. They've got issues going on, just like Denver. And Denver's issues is now growing to a bigger problem where they're, trying to prepare for basically next year already, you know, because they're now looking to try to recoup some draft picks that they gave away in the Russ trade. And Jerry Jeudy may be on the mood because Jerry Jeudy is not happy right now in Denver. And he might be on the move to try to get some picks. No, he shouldn't be.
No, did you see the video of Judy and Cortland Sutton talking on the sidelines? Man, they did not look happy at all. And I would not put all the blame on Russell Wilson. Now that I've been able to watch the Broncos play more and more, I'm not going to put the entire blame on Russell Wilson for that offense. That offensive line sucks bad.
Yeah, he thought he had it bad in Seattle. Welcome to Denver, buddy.
And also on the flip side of things, I understand now why the Chargers don't have any fans in their stands. Because all of them are in the damn hospital for how many heart attacks this team is giving all their fans.
I know. Bro, I'm not kidding. You know, it's wild to me looking at the Chargers right now and how they've played. You know, they're still 4-2 and all. But like coming into this offseason, you know, before the season started, I made a video, top 5 coaches I had on the hot seat. And one coach that Tyler was hard pitching to me would be on the hot seat this year be Brandon Staley. And I didn't buy into that personally. But now that we're getting to a point where they're still making the stupid bonehead plays that they made last year that screwed them over, maybe Tyler's got a little bit of merit on that one. Could be a hot seat candidate.
Tyler also said USC would be a top 4 college football playoff team. So I'll take that with a grain of salt.
I'll take a lot of things he says with a grain of salt. No offense to Tyler if he listens to the playback right now, but you know he does like the Wyoming Cowboys. That doesn't say a lot about him. So I don't know. But let's see.
Tyler is a guy. He'll throw out such outlandish shit that once one hits, you're like, damn, Tyler, you're like a fucking genius, bro.
Honestly, that's what I do half the time. Is I just throw out the most random shit. You know, just have a good time. Any other games that we wanted to chat about NFL-wise? If not, we can probably go ahead and look to get the picks. I feel like we ran.
I think it's time to get rid of Thursday Night Football.
Ooh, I mean, if they keep giving them the games that they're giving them, I agree with you.
Man, oh goodness.
That game was pathetic. That game was fucking pathetic.
I am so glad I'm officiating football this year. That way I don't have to watch these pathetic games on Thursday night.
Let's give some I'm talking like the tiniest sliver of kind of cushion for the NFL. Like they schedule these during the off season, right? And coming into the season, Russell Wilson being in Denver, like, you know, I know me personally didn't think they were going to be good, but we knew that Chargers could be very good. Like before the season, this looked like a very good game, but obviously it wasn't.
Okay, so I want to actually tag in on that. Shane actually does have a pretty good point because I pulled up the Thursday night schedule just now, and like you look at the first 4 games of Thursday night football, and I see what they were going for. Right, you know, like week 1, Chargers Chiefs. That was actually a good game though. Very good game.
Yeah, it's opening week. I understand that.
Next after that, you know, Steelers Browns. I mean, look, I get the Steelers are in a transitional period, right? I get that. I'm very aware of that, but it's still the Steelers. It's still Mike Tomlin led team. And then when these schedules were made, you can only, you know, they were still assuming that Deshaun Watson could potentially be that quarterback because he wasn't suspended yet.
Plus, the Browns and Steelers are a huge rivalry.
Yeah, and then Dolphins Bengals. I see what they were trying to go for there. Colts Broncos. Both teams that we thought would be a lot better than they are. I see that too. Now Washington Chicago. That was a dud. I don't know why we did that. That one's a dud. You know, I would even say Saints and Cardinals, that's a dud. And then you follow up with, you know, Ravens, Bucks. That's, in theory, you know, was supposed to be a really good matchup. Now I just think it's going to be the Ravens running away with it. Eagles, Texans, that's a dud. Falcons, Panthers, ooh, that's a dud. You know, Titans, Packers, I see the logic there. Bills, I mean, this is not a terrible schedule if you looked at it in the offseason. But you look at it now and how some of these teams are doing, and it's just like, God, this is dreadful. This is dreadful.
We won't have a good Thursday night game until Thanksgiving.
Shit, true. Let's see.
Very true.
Yeah. God.
Most likely the Cowboys are one of them. They play every Thanksgiving.
Cowboys and Giants.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
God.
Oh,
it's a Thanksgiving game.
Oh, you guys are going to have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Oh.
You guys are going to have an amazing Thanksgiving, man.
As we always do as Cowboys fans.
I just hope, please let the Cowboys wear their 90s jerseys, like, at some point. Like, Those
We
things
will.
are
I'm pretty
so
sure it is. I'm pretty sure it is that game that we are
like
wearing our throwback
they are
jerseys.
so sick. They need to wear them things more often, bro.
Honestly, the Thursday night, not
With
Thursday,
the white helmets. Oh,
the Thanksgiving schedule's okay. I mean, Bills and Lions. I mean, the Lions are 1-4, but I still think they can be a very competitive team. You know, I think the Bills will win that.
That'll be the one the Bills aren't supposed to lose,
Right?
and
Yeah.
they end up losing.
That would
Yeah.
happen to the Bills. Look at when they lost the Jaguars last year, still led by Urban Meyer at the time too. Then you got Giants and Cowboys, and then Patriots Vikings. So Thanksgiving football is looking pretty good.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Mac Jones will be back by that time for the Pats. So
Right. I think we're gonna have a pretty good Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be off that whole week. I should, and I'll just be playing Pokemon the whole time, and it's gonna be great. I can't wait. All right, let's see. All right, any other games that we wanted to chat about for NFL Week 6? If not, we'll head over to picks. Or any headlines we want to chat about, anything of the sort.
Oh, let's go picks.
still I did hear today that there's rumors saying that the only reason why Brian Harsin has not been fired is because they're waiting to get a new AD in there to fire him and get ready for the next coach that's going to be there.
And I call so much BS on that crap too when I heard about that too, Shane, because I'm like, Arkansas fired Bielema without an AD. Auburn could fire Harsin without
I mean,
an
they
AD.
could do it. Is it smart? You know.
At this point, it doesn't matter.
Because you got to look. I mean, if you're gonna go off of that, we fired Brett without having an AD, and then some lady in the office made Chad Morris hire. So I mean, we saw how that went.
I get your point, but they'll get an AD before then.
All right, let's head over to picks then. I'll go ahead and hit the music, let it play the whole time while we're doing this. All right, kicking things off with college. Let's look at the leaderboard. Very, very interesting week for picks, guys. We had 3 people go 11-9: Brady, Steve, and Shane. Everyone else went 10-10. So very fascinating week. Tyler's still at the top right now with 77-48, but Steve is nipping on them heels at a 75-50. And I bumped into Steve end of last week at work, and he told me he is gunning for Tyler hardcore. He wants that #1 spot bad. So I'll be looking forward to seeing how things kind of go from here. But let's actually get into some picks. Let's see, make my picks. Let's go ahead and pull this up. All right, kicking things off, Troy at South Alabama. As we already chatted about earlier, this is going to be a very good game for the Sun Belt here. How we feeling on it, boys?
I like the Trojans in this game.
Yeah, Troy's played some good football this year, and if I'm not mistaken, I think South Alabama, they had a close game. I believe it was UCLA that they barely lost to. South Alabama's at home, but I really like Troy. I'm telling you, I really like Troy. I think I'm going to pull for Troy here. I'm going to say Troy.
yeah, I'm going with the Jaguars on this one.
I think I'm feeling the Jags. I think I like the Jags here. The Jags at home. I feel like both are good picks. I like both picks. Next up, UAB at Western Kentucky. How we feeling on this one? A good old Conference USA matchup.
Oh, Hilltoppers.
Western Kentucky typically plays very, very well at home. UAB, I believe that they have a new coach this year, but they're still doing very well. This one's a toss-up either way you go. I'll take the Hilltoppers.
I'm going with the home team as well. Give me the Hilltoppers.
Yep, going with the Hilltoppers. Austin Reed is something else for them at quarterback.
He is him.
Next up, Vandy at Missouri.
The Battle of the Bads, Part 2.
Give me the Tigers.
Just because I don't like the Tigers and Eli Drinkwitz, I'm going with the Commodores.
Yeah, I really don't like Eli myself. I did not think Missouri would win a conference game the entire year, but considering the way Missouri has been playing here lately, they have been playing some pretty decent football, and they do play well at home. I'll go Missouri.
Yep, I'm going with Missouri. They were close with Georgia, and Vanderbilt got absolutely blown out of the water.
Next up, Ole Miss at LSU. Give me Ole Miss.
I'm gonna go Ole Miss too. But I want y'all to know this before y'all make y'all's pick, and Alex, you can change your pick if you want to. Right now, Vegas has LSU as a 7.5 point favorite right now, and I'm like 50-50 on. I think it's a night game, but I'm not sure.
It is. I'm pretty sure it is.
The
No, they
3:30
play-
game.
Yeah, that about to say they play the CBS. They play on CBS, and so it's definitely.
That's a spicy line right now, though.
It would not surprise me if LSU wins this game, but I don't think they will. I've got Ole
But
Miss.
you also got to think, Ole Miss. I have it pulled up right here. They are 96th in rush defense.
And so is LSU is LSU's right below them because rush defense they allow LSU averages 145 yards per game. They give up 145 yards per game defensively on rushing yards. Ole Miss gives up 144. They're neck and neck when it comes to that.
Yeah. So.
Did we all get our
so
picks
that's why
locked in?
that's why I'm gonna go Ole Miss because I think Ole Miss has a better quarterback. They have a better passing game. LSU may have the edge in defense, but I don't think they've messed with an offense like Ole Miss.
I'm going with the Tigers. With the upset.
Am I the only one going Ole Miss right now? Did I miss something?
No, I went Ole Miss.
Okay.
I'm the only one going LSU.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Which I really want to go LSU because I respect LSU more than I do Ole Miss. Sorry.
Miss.
So, but I'm trying to win this, man. I'm trying to win my picks, dog.
All right, next up, huge Pac-12 matchup right now. UCLA and Oregon. This is where college game day is going to be. How we feeling on this one? Number 9, number 10 teams in the nation. How we
Give me
feeling?
UCLA.
I agree. Give me the Bruins.
I was a dumbass by picking Oregon earlier in the year, and so I'm not picking Oregon ever again. I don't care who they're playing. I got UCLA.
Okay.
Really? You think the Ducks are going to pull out a win, huh?
No,
think
I
they
said
get it.
UCLA.
No,
Oh,
me.
oh,
No,
I'm sorry.
Shane's doing the
I'm sorry, Shane. I'm sorry, Shane. You cut out on me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think Oregon losing that first game against Georgia, getting mollywopped. I think they need a win like this, and I think they get it this weekend at home.
Okay. Next up, Texas A&M at
Especially-
South Carolina. Go ahead.
Especially since they're going against their old coach and Chip Kelly. So,
Oh, that's fair. Forgot about that, but I think UCLA will still catch this dub. But yeah, Texas A&M at South Carolina. I'm actually really curious you guys' thoughts on this one.
listen, I'm still all in for Ricky's thoughts. I want it to come true, so I'm going with the Cox.
Shout out to the Cocks.
Go
I
Cox.
told y'all to write this down. And Jacob, is it still on your board?
It is still on my board.
Hell yeah.
If
South Carolina beats Texas A&M, they
If
will
South-
fire Jimbo Fisher.
Yes, if South Carolina wins this game, Jimbo Fisher is gone this coming Sunday. I've got South Carolina winning this game.
You know what? I'm riding with you. Give me the big fat Cox. Let's
Now,
rock
give me the
with it.
Aggies. Jimbo Fisher will find a way to keep his job.
Oh, Lord. You're so delusional with Jimbo Fisher as much as you are Ohio State.
It's true. That's just how Jimbo Fisher works, though. That's just how Jimbo Fisher works, thoh.
So delusional when it comes
Alright,
to Jimbo
alright.
Fisher. I swear.
Next-
I'll see you next Tuesday then.
All right. All right, next up, Memphis at the newly ranked Green Wave.
Give me the Green Wave, dude. Memphis has played shitty as of late. Tulane has actually been on the uprise. One loss, and then like I said, Memphis they have not really played up to their potential. I'll take Tulane.
Which is unfortunate because the last few years Memphis has been a really good team. But, man, that Green Wave, so nice to see them ranked. I'm taking the Green Wave.
I as well am going with the Green Wave.
Give me the Wave. Number 20 ranked Texas at number 11 Oklahoma State.
Give me the Longhorns.
This is interesting for me.
Yeah, it's the same.
Because I know if I pick Texas, Oklahoma State's going to win. And if I pick Oklahoma State, Texas is going to win. I want Texas to lose this game, so I'm picking Texas.
I don't know. I think for me it comes down to Bijan Robinson. How effective can you be against Oklahoma State's defense? And I think with what we saw against TCU, I'm gonna have to go Texas. I really want to pick Oklahoma State. I do think they're overall the better team, but I think the breaking point is going to be Bijan against that rush defense. And yeah.
Give me Texas. Give me the Longhorns. Give me the Longhorns.
No one picked Oklahoma State, huh?
Feeling Longhorns on this one. All right, Kansas State at TCU.
Give me the Horned Frogs.
I think the Horned Frogs will win this game, but I'm going to pick Kansas State for my emotional pick for this one reason. For one, I think they are a very good team, don't get me wrong. But if TCU goes down here, Big 12 is in a lot of trouble as far as playoff contention, and I love chaos at this time of the year, so I'm getting ready.
Are you ready? TCU.
And plus, I've been making fun of Adrian Martinez and his grandkids that are playing with
Yeah,
him.
you have, yeah.
So
He's playing with like his great grandchildren right now. Give me the Horned Frogs at home. Horned Frogs at home. All right, Kansas at Baylor. Do we want to rock with the backup in Kansas that played pretty well, or do we think Baylor is going to get a bounce back?
Jayhawks all the way.
Both these teams need to bounce back.
Give
but
me
if
the
you were
Hawks,
to tell
baby.
me right now, if you were to tell me right now who the better team is, it's Kansas. I'm gonna stick with Kansas.
Are they not Jayhawks?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the Kansas Jayhawks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Alex, what did you say?
The Hawks.
Oh, okay.
Jayhawks, baby.
You know what? I'm going Baylor Tiger Bears.
All right, next up, we got Tyler's team here. We got the Utah State. Are they the Aggies? Yeah, they're the Aggies. Heading over to the Dookie Brown Wyoming Cowboys.
Both Aggie teams go down this week. Give me Wyoming.
Give me the Dookie Brown Cowboys as well. They're going to catch this dub here today, which is unfortunate. It was really high on Utah State coming into this year.
I as well, and I agree. Dookie Brown Cowboys are gonna win it.
Yep.
All right, BYU and Liberty. This is actually going to probably be a pretty good game, guys. I'm going to be real with you.
Give me Liberty.
Nah, give me BYU.
I'm going BYU.
I want to pick Liberty.
Do it.
I want to.
Do it.
I really do.
They are the
Hammer it
89th
down. Come on.
the 89th rush defense in the country. I'm going BYU.
That's oh.
Nah, statistics don't matter. Throw them out.
Give me the flame. Give me the Flames. Liberty. Let's get it.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Cincinnati at SMU.
Give me the Bearcats.
Cincinnati has not played very well as of late, but they always find a win. They always find a way to win these close games. I like SMU a lot though, but no, I agree with Jacobs. Give me Cincinnati.
Yeah, I agree. Go Bearcats.
All right. Number 24, Mississippi State. Heading over to Tuscaloosa. Number 6, Bama.
This is an interesting matchup because if Will Rogers and Mike Leach can kind of mimic Tennessee's offense from last week, they're going to give Alabama fits. But I don't think Mississippi State has the talent that Tennessee has. So I'm going to pick Alabama to win this game. But I think Mississippi State's going to give them scares here and there.
Yeah, I agree. I think Bama in the long run is going to win this game. I think they're the better team.
Give me the Bulldogs.
Oh, yes, I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Listen, I really wanted to do that as well. I just don't trust in Mike Leach or the talent that they have on the outside compared to what Tennessee has in order to get the job done.
Well, that's cool
It's not
because
so much that I trust the Bulldogs; it's the fact that I distrust the Alabama defense.
that's also fair. And that's also a fair point coming from Shane and Ricky. But you know what? Give me the Bulldogs. They're going to catch this dub this weekend. Let's go, baby. Mississippi State, with the
Listen,
worst
and I
college
will-
campus
and I
that
will
I've
say
ever
one
seen,
thing.
is going to catch this dub in Tuscaloosa.
If Mike Leach and the Mississippi State Bulldogs win this game in Tuscaloosa, Alabama just may burn to the ground, and they're no longer going to be a state at that point.
Let's get it.
because, I mean,
Will
after losing
Rogers
to
gonna
Tennessee,
throw
I've already
17
seen
touchdowns
things
this
on
weekend.
Twitter.
All right, next up, we got good old Hawaii heading over to Colorado State, the Battle of the Bads.
They should have also been considered for terrible game of the week, but that's okay.
It was
It
was
was.
in
So,
contention, but the one
very
that we picked is
interesting.
the worst.
So very interesting. Both teams give up over 400 yards a game.
Yep,
Hawaii's offense averages 18 points a game.
you damn right.
Colorado State's offense averages 12.
You damn right.
I think Vegas has Colorado State favored,
Yeah, they have Colorado State favored by 5.
but I'm not buying it. Give me Hawaii.
Woo! Go Bows! You know who I'm locking.
What about you, Shane?
Just because of the Arkansas hate, I'm going Colorado State.
Wow.
Ooh.
You
Fuck
know
off.
what?
I know
That's valid. That's
and,
fair.
And I know there's gonna be a little tweak in the back of Alex's head
No,
because
that's
he
fair.
knows, and we all know how bad Colorado State is. So
With
it
how
just-
much
yeah.
I dog on Arkansas, pretty much that's fair. I'll take that.
Give me the Rainbow Warriors.
Woo! Let's go, baby. Hop on this rainbow train. Here we go, boys. All right, next up, Boise State at Air Force. How we feeling on this one? Both pretty solid teams right now over in the Mountain West.
Yeah, Air Force has a bad loss though. I'm trying to remember who their bad loss was. I think it was Utah State. No, they got a couple losses.
Yeah,
They lost
it
to
was
Utah State.
Utah State.
They lost to Utah State and they lost to Wyoming. Boise State, on the other hand, ever since they fired their defensive coordinator, they've played some pretty good football the last couple of weeks. So in that case, I'm gonna go Boise State.
I like the Broncos. Let's go.
I don't know much about Boise State this year, and really haven't in the last like 3 years. Air Force has looked good, so I'm gonna go with Air Force.
Yeah, I'm going with the Falcons.
Okay, split on this one. Next up, we have a very big FCS matchup here. We got the Montana Grizzlies going up against Sacramento State. What's their mascot? Does anyone know? Because I don't.
I have no idea.
Either
About
way,
to guess
these
this
are
one.
both like top 10 ranked teams. Montana
Well-
just came off a big L, though, against none other than the Idaho Vandals. I was keeping track of that game when it was happening. I even hit Tyler up where I was just like, bro, Idaho is beating like the number 8 team in the nation right now in the FCS. And he's just like, are you joking with me right now? It's like, this has got to be a joke. I'm like, no, go look, bro. They're beating them by like 2 scores. He's just like, what?
Sacramento State's mascot is the Hornets.
Hornets, all right. So you want to trust in the Grizzly coming off a big L versus some Vandals, or do you want to trust some Hornets right now who are still undefeated?
Give me the Hornets.
I like it. Honestly, you really could go either way with this game. You really, really could.
Yeah.
You could think that Montana's going to get a big bounce back, or you could see Sacramento just keep on rocking undefeated right now. You could honestly go either way.
I'm gonna take the Grizz.
Man, I'm split here. Give me Montana. I like Montana. I think they'll bounce back after that loss against Idaho. And hey, Idaho's ranked now too. Shout out to that. They're number like 17 in the FCS right now. Shit's popping over in
Yikes.
Idaho right now.
Yikes.
Yep. All right, Shane. Montana and Sacramento State.
I'm going to. I think Montana bounces back. I think Montana gets it.
Well, all right. Next up, first game of the week, we got Mercer and at Chattanooga, 2 top-ranked teams right now. I saw 2 different rankings. I saw, Ricky, I saw the one you post, and I saw that was the coaches poll, and I saw another ranking as well. But 11 and 8 is 11 for Mercer, 8 for Chattanooga. I also saw Mercer at I think 10 and Chattanooga at 9. I saw a couple different ones, but bottom line, we'll go 11 Mercer at number 8 Chattanooga. Big ranked matchup this weekend at FCS. How we feeling on this one, boys?
Yeah, both of their losses really don't count. Chattanooga was against Illinois.
Yeah.
Mercer was against Auburn.
Neither count.
So
No.
just throw those games out the window. As far as their other games are concerned, though, Mercer had a way better game against ETSU than what Chattanooga did. So just based off that, I'm going with Mercer.
Okay.
Chattanooga has the better defense. They're more of a defensive mindset when it comes to when it comes to football. So I mean, you could literally take a coin, toss it right now, and it wouldn't surprise me who wins this game. But this is a picking thing. I'm picking Chattanooga.
Okay.
Him as well.
Give me Mercer. I like the road team here.
Down yonder on the town.
All right, next up, FBS game of the week. We got 14th ranked Syracuse, the Orange, heading over to Clemson. How we feeling on this one, boys?
Syracuse historically plays Clemson very, very well. If I'm not mistaken, I think there was an undefeated season where Syracuse came out of nowhere to beat Clemson, but they weren't even ranked at the time. I really like the Syracuse team. If it was at Syracuse, I would probably pull for Syracuse, but I think Clemson's going to win this one.
That's kind of how I feel, too. I really want to pick the Orange, but I feel like I already made one spicy pick with Mississippi State, so I don't know if I can make another. I feel like Clemson, as overrated as I think that they are.
Come on.
Jacob, you can't keep
Come on.
taunting me like this every week. You keep
Come
tempting
on.
me into bad decisions.
Come on. No, not bad decisions. It could be great. You never know.
Give me the Orange. Let's do it.
That's what I'm talking about. Give me the orange, baby.
Let's go.
Okay,
Come on,
just
Shane.
just.
Look, listen,
Just
listen. When it comes to the picks, I'm here to compete for bragging rights. The prize don't go to me, so the prize doesn't mean shit for me. I'm just here to have fun, and I do want bragging rights. But you know what? Let's get some spicy picks in here every once in a while.
Orange go.
You said it
That's what
so
I'm talking about.
defeated. You
I'll
sounded
fucking
so
pick 'em.
defeated.
I'm not happy about it, but I'll do it.
You can pick Clemson. You're fine.
I'll fucking do it. Go Orange.
Oh my god, bro. And you know,
You have to pick these upsets
Hey,
if you want to
I do
gain
wanna point
ground in
this
the
out, though.
standings.
That is very true. That is very
Yeah.
true. But I just, like I said, I love Syracuse. Love them to death, but I don't know if they're going to be
I did
close
have
to
some stats pulled up for that too. I mean, they're both averaging over 36 points a game. They're both allowing 19 or less. I want the record to be known. Clemson was the one allowing 19. Syracuse is only allowing, I think, 14 a game right now, average. They're both averaging over 417 yards a game. Syracuse allowing about 268 yards per game, while Clemson's allowing about 338 yards per game. So this could be a lot more competitive matchup than what the Power Index has right now at 83% Clemson favored, or Clemson minus 13.5. In fact, I would actually hammer Syracuse plus 13.5 for them to cover, regardless if they win or lose. I would hammer that for them to at least cover. So anyway, all right. Last game, as always, it is our terrible game of the week, and for the first time ever in a terrible football show history, we have a two-time returning terrible game of the week. Only time this has happened. You know, when it comes to our game of the weeks, we'll focus on, a couple teams will get the spot in there, but it's always a different game, obviously. But we've never had the same game twice, and we do now, because this game we had as our terrible game of the week last year. We have the Long Island Sharks going up against the Wagner Seahawks. They are both 0-6. Long Island has been outscored 213-90 over the last 5 games. Wagner has been outscored 234-38 over the last 5 games. And random fun fact for you about the Wagner Seahawks: if you want to show them some support, you can actually head over to agentinc.gg and pick up their esports jersey. That is in the shop over there. There's also an Arkansas State one over there in their shop too. I'm not even shitting you. That's the thing. They represent some college esports teams, and Wagner and Arkansas State happens to be 2 of them. But anyway, This was our dog shit game last year about this same time. You know, these two teams play every year, obviously, and they're both terrible every damn year. So it just felt right to make it full circle. And here we are, and they're back for the second time. How we feeling?
Give me the
LI.
Sharks.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, give me the Sharks in that game as well. LIU, there's actually been a couple of games they've actually been very, very competitive in. Wagner has not been competitive in any of their games.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, I mean, just based on the stats that you gave us, it was. I
The
mean,
outscored, yeah.
they've both given up like 230 something points, right?
Yep.
But then
But Wagner
90 to
can't score.
38, 90 to 38. Come on now, gotta go Sharks. Come on now.
Oh, man. All right. Jacob, did you throw your pick in? You said Sharks, right?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't hear you. All right, cool. We're heading over to NFL then. NFL, Jacob, you came out on top, 10-4 for this past week.
Woo!
Shout out to that. Brady 9-5, Shane 8-6. Four of us all came down that 7-7, and Ricky down there at the bottom with a 5-9 this past week. Don't worry, you'll bounce back. There's always time.
My NFL was horrible.
You
Horrible
can bounce
this
back.
week. Oh my gosh, that is the worst I've ever had.
Hey,
But
Steve's on
it's
top
okay.
right now over in that one, 56-38, but Jacob and Tyler are both nipping on the heels, 54-40, followed by pretty much the other three of us. You know, me, Shane, and Ricky, and Brady, and you know, Iggy's done. I mean, I appreciate Iggy still putting in picks. He's a great guy. I love him, but he's done. I'm sorry. He's not coming back. He's too far down at this point. Man, I don't know what happened, man. But anyway, all right, let's hop into picks, though. Let me pull it up here. All right, Thursday Night Football, Saints and Cardinals. How we feeling?
I think the Cardinals bounce back this week. Give me Arizona.
Give me the Cardinals as well. D-Hop has always been one of my favorite receivers in the league. Literally since he's been a rookie. Him coming back this week, I think, will be big. I'm here for it. Give me the Cardinals.
Give me the Saints.
Respect.
Just because I did for a momentarily lapse forget D-Hop was coming back this week, I was going to go Saints, but I'm going over to Arizona. I think D-Hop is a difference maker.
All right, next up, Cleveland and Baltimore. Give me Baltimore. They're going to beat the fuck out of Deshaun Watson, and he deserves it.
Oh, is he?
This
Wait,
I think this is his comeback game, isn't it?
No, he doesn't come
it's
back.
11
Houston.
weeks.
Oh, my
Yeah,
bad. I
he
thought
got
this.
pushed to 11,
I
yeah.
thought this was the comeback game.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Conveniently, he comes back against Houston.
That's right. That's right. My fault. Still give me the Ravens though. I like the Ravens here.
I agree. I like the Ravens. I want them to be good, but just right now they're not. Which, given they've really just handed wins to the last two teams that they've played, but I think they take it back this week.
Yeah, I agree. Give me Baltimore.
Outside of the New England game the Browns had, they played the Chargers and they played Atlanta pretty competitively.
Atlanta's one now.
Atlanta's about to win their division. What are you talking about? Give me the Ravens, but I do think that Cleveland has a chance to win this game.
I think they do too, just based on run game alone. I just think the Ravens will catch the dub is all. All right, Atlanta at Cincy. Give me the Bengals on this one.
Tough game.
Yeah. Cincinnati is kind of a disappointment for me this
They're
this
playing
year.
the same way that they did last year at this time, so.
I mean, yeah,
That
but
mean-
I
that
thought
means
they
Super
were
Bowl
going
bound.
to take another step, in the beginning of
I
this
did
year,
too,
especially
honestly.
with getting that offensive line help, but it just hasn't helped.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jamar Chase, pretty much won me my fantasy game against Alex this week. So moving on up.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bengals as well.
I hate to do this, but I'm taking Atlanta.
Okay, spicy.
Respect. Yeah.
All right, Detroit at Dallas. Give me the Lions.
No, for the love of
I'm just
God.
kidding. I'm just kidding. I actually don't know which way to go on this one, if we're being real.
Dak's back this week, or he's planning on being back
Oh,
this week.
okay. Yeah, give me the Cowboys then.
Detroit has zero chance against the Cowboys defense. That's why I'm picking the Cowboys to win this week. Not because I'm a fan of Dallas, but because Detroit has no chance against that Dallas defense.
In that case, give me the Lions. I'm sticking with Cowboys.
Yeah, give me the Cowboys at home.
Green Bay at Washington. Green Bay. Easy.
I agree. Go Packers.
I'm not gonna say that, but
give me the Commanders. Give me the Commanders.
I like the spiciness, but
Here's the thing is that I want life to be terrible right now for Aaron Rodgers. For some reason, I just do. And it's more than just that. It's Green Bay fans everywhere. Give me the Commanders, baby. The Commanders with the upset.
Let's go.
I like the spicy pick. Let's get it. All right, next up, Tampa at Carolina. Give me Tampa on this one. Carolina is just they're in a terrible state right now. I can't pick them.
So is Tampa, but Tampa actually wins games.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
I can't pick
Carolina's cleaning
Carolina.
house, man.
I've picked all home teams so far. I've got to go Tampa Bay on this one.
I'm gonna go Tampa Bay as well, but imagine if Carolina pulls this off.
Man, that'd be
Tom
freaking
Brady's going
wild.
to retirement.
Oh God.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus. All right, Giants at Duval County. I like the Giants here, man. I think they are going to be 9-1 here soon.
I agree.
Hey, but doesn't this feel like this is a game that the Jaguars could win?
It is. I mean, it is definitely one that the Jags can come out with the dub on, but I don't know, man. I like that Giants team right now. I'm riding with the hot hand.
Yep. Give me the Giants.
I'm taking Jacksonville.
I like it. I love it, actually. Love it.
Real okay. All right.
All right. Indy at Tennessee. This one's a tough one to pick, too, honestly.
Tennessee. Indy cannot handle Derrick Henry.
That's fair.
Yeah, he had a big game against them. 3 weeks ago when they played or whatever. Didn't they recently play as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tennessee won that. Derrick Henry had a big game, so I'm going Tennessee.
I'll agree. After some thinking about that, yeah, give me the Titans on this one.
Take it 4-4.
Yep. Houston at Vegas.
Give me the Texans.
I was really, really high on Vegas at the beginning of the season. And then they have let me down each and every single week. Josh McDaniels is go back to being an offensive coordinator and never be a head coach again. Give me the Texans.
I'm gonna stick with the Raiders. I think Vegas gets it done at home. Yeah.
I like the Raiders here, honestly.
There will be no pushing or shoving this week.
Give me the Raiders. Oh, yeah. Forgot about that. Sheesh. All right. Jets at Denver. Give me the Jets. I can't in good conscience pick the Broncos anytime soon.
No, I'm not picking I don't think I'm picking the Broncos to win another game this year.
I just can't.
Unless they're playing
Sorry,
Hawaii. If
Oh,
Hawaii
come on.
somehow
Come
makes it to
on.
the NFL,
Come
I'll pick
on.
Denver to beat. I'll pick Denver to beat Hawaii. But that's
Relax.
Listen. I will be extremely happy with my two teams having the top 2 picks in NFL draft this year. Okay, looking forward to it.
It'll be a great draft special for you when we all go live.
Yeah, Shane's gonna be all cheering. Yes, we got this, and then me and Jake are gonna be like, "Damn it, we got the wrong pick again."
And I'm just gonna be chilling. I'm just gonna be chilling.
Tyler, fuck.
All right. So what are you rocking with, Shane?
I'm going Jets.
Okay. KC at San Fran.
I'm gonna go Kansas City, just because of 49er John of 103.7 The Buzz.
Can't stand that dude.
He's obnoxious as hell, and I'm going Kansas City.
Give me KC.
This could be a trap game for Kansas City. I'm just going to go ahead and say that off the mark. This could be a huge trap game. San Francisco has not played very well either. They're due for a big game, and this week could be it. Give me the Niners at home.
See, it depends, man. It really, really depends because they have a lot of questionables on their IR right now. They have a lot.
That is
of
very
questionables.
true. That I didn't think about that myself. If they were healthy, I'd definitely. Yeah, you are right about that.
Eric Armstead, Nick Bosa, and Jimmy Ward. Just to name a few. Trent Williams. Oh man, I want to pick the 49ers so bad, but I can't with that injury report.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I'll switch mine to Kansas City too.
Seattle at Chargers.
Give me the Seahawks, baby. Give me the MVP of the year, Geno Smith.
I low-key want to pick the Seahawks.
Do it.
You can't keep talking me into these things.
But you keep going with it, so of course I'm gonna keep talking you in.
I'm just having a good time, man. I don't know what to go here. Shane, Ricky, how you guys feeling?
Let's just go to Shane and Ricky first.
Okay. For my previous statement, I am now in fan tank mode. Let's go Chargers.
That's fair.
Okay, yeah, I guess so. Chargers are at home. You never know with them. Give me the Seahawks.
Ooh, let's go.
Give me the Seahawks.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, Sunday Night
Come
Football.
over to the dark side of the force.
Sunday Night Football, Pittsburgh at Miami.
Is Tua coming back this week?
It should be, yeah. I don't know who the starter is for Pittsburgh, though, because, Mitch came in that last game to win it. I don't know if it's Mitch or Kitty.
Pittsburgh's not getting lucky 2 weeks in a row. It's not happening. Give me Miami.
Yeah, I like Miami on this one, honestly.
If it's Mitch, if it's Kenny, doesn't matter. Steelers are going to win. Man, I got a lot. I picked a lot of away teams. Oh, man.
All right, Shane.
I'm gonna go Miami. I think Mitch will be back this weekend. I'm still on the Kenny Pickett train, so I want him to lose games so Kenny Pickett can play. Let's go Miami.
Okay. All right, Monday Night Football. This is going to be a snooze fest. Let me pick first, guys, because I can't pick the Bears right, so you guys can all catch an easy dub, okay? I think the Patriots going to get this one. I'm locking
Is
in.
Mac Jones back this week?
Nah, it's still Zappy, I think. But it doesn't matter. Bears stink. But then again, like I said, literally from last year to now, I cannot pick the Bears right. So
You can't say the Bears stink, though. The last 3 games they played and lost by only less than a touchdown, man. Come on. You cannot say they suck.
they stink.
When they've still played competitively.
We stink. We got a bad team right now, but it's like I'm still not writing off the future. Like the future is still can be bright, but for this season we are in full we're in rebuild full stink mode. So we stink
I was
right
opening
now.
the door for you to talk me into picking the Bears, but I can't.
I can't do it,
You
man.
did not convince me.
I
I'm
can't
picking
do
the
it.
Pats.
We stink, man. We stink so damn bad. Like we do. We suck, bro. Like I can't right now. Like next year, my expectations will be different depending on what we do in the offseason. We got $100 million next year for free agency. We better do something. So yeah, Bears stink this year though.
It's all going towards a kicker.
Oh please God, no, not that again.
Justin Tucker.
Justin
Please
Tucker.
God,
Justin
no.
Tucker.
Oh God, that was such a distraction that offseason. All right, boys. What you got?
I'm taking the Patriots. The Bears have just been awful. I mean, when you lose to the Commanders of all teams, don't get me wrong. And at home. That's what sucks. They lost at home.
I know.
And so go give me Pats.
Now I could be wrong, but the last time I took the opposite advice of Ricky, he said, "Shane, pick whatever I don't pick because you'll get the win." And I'm pretty sure I went 2-0 doing that. So I'm going to ride with it. I'm going with the Bears.
That's fair. I don't
tell
pick
you
the
that
Bears
this week-
right. So if the Bears win, it won't surprise me, guys, because I picked the Patriots. That's just how it goes. All right. All picks locked in. We're good to go. We can go ahead and wrap up the show now. This was a long one here today. All right, boys. Anything last thoughts you want to shout out? If not, I'll go ahead and hit the music.
Nope. Look forward to the Woo Pick Suey next week.
I look forward to the OHIO.
Let's go, OH.
IO.
Woo.
Not happening.
All right, I'm hitting the music, boys. Final thoughts. Shout anything out, whatever you want to shout. Let's get it. Let's go.
Go Iowa! Go Iowa! Beat Ohio State. Even though it's not gonna freaking happen,
That
but
is not gonna happen.
one
Not
could be
even
wishful.
close.
One could be wishful thinking. Iowa and Hawaii could win in the same week. I mean,
You can
come
wish
on.
in one hand and shit in the other.
Yeah. Hey, go Duke! Go Duke! Duke's gonna beat Miami this week. How
They
come
probably
Duke and
will.
Miami wasn't part of our picks?
I didn't want to pick it.
Picked him.
Duke will probably win, honestly. It won't shock me if the Blue Devils catch that dub.
Yeah.
You know, when the season started, I called dibs on a couple weeks from now for Game of the Week, but I don't know if I have it in me to make that the Game of the Week. It was
No,
Miami
I
at
don't know.
Florida State. I don't know if I have it in me to still lock in my dib that I called like beginning of the year. I don't know if I have a chance to do that, but I have to pass on that one. But anyway, yeah. Final thoughts, boys. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the music up here in a second and get out of here. Final thoughts. Final thoughts.
Alabama's going to be in the teens after this week.
Okay, so basically what he's saying, the Crimson Tide fans down in Alabama is going to burn that state down. They're going to
Yep.
they're going to become the second Hawaii.
I can't wait for it. Let's go. Will Rogers is about to pass for 17 touchdowns against Alabama. It's gonna be a great game. I'm here for it, man. We about to see NCAA 14 in real life this weekend with Will Rogers going over to Tuscaloosa. It's gonna be phenomenal. I can't wait. NCAA 14 on freshman mode. It's gonna be awesome. I'm here for it, man.
Freshman and the opponents just on
Yeah.
field goal defense the entire time. Just throwing
Yep.
up.
Yep.
I just give y'all props that you picked Alabama and Clemson to lose it the same week. I just give you that much props.
I'm here for
Then again-
chaos.
Then again,
Chaos.
I did last week, but they were playing better teams last week too. So it just
I'm just here for chaos, man. All right,
absolutely.
we're gonna get out of here then. If you're listening to this after the fact, we appreciate the hell out of you so much. Genuinely do. Make sure to join the Discord. You can come chat with us, subscribe to the channel, be a friend, tell a friend. We definitely appreciate that. We got some really cool stuff come up here soon. Not even just the Agent Ink stuff, not even that stuff with our jersey and stuff. We have some other things coming soon that I'm really excited for, and I can't wait to show you guys. Hopefully, first week of November. That's my kind of tentative window right now. I'm really pumped. It's gonna be super cool. Boys, do we want to do the group outro? Are we doing it? Are we here for it?
Yes.
All right.
Every week,
do it.
baby. Every
Let's
week.
do it. Let's do it. Thank you
Except
so
for
much.
those 3 weeks we didn't.
That's true, except for those 3 weeks. Pretend those didn't happen. Pretend those didn't happen. We forgot. All right. So thank you so much for listening to A Terrible Football
Terrible
Show.
Football
Show.
Fucking nailed it. Let's get it, boys. Yeah.